it is that logic that will get people to stop showing us in Belgium.
Okay. So we lose what?
Out of
Three
all of
potential
the
viewers.
people in the chat who could be staunch supporters of Belgium, I wouldn't have thought it was Serrana, just because of your track record.
Luxembourg also needs to just disappear.
Yeah, isn't Belgium just like a roadblock for y'all?
The reason that Belgium exists is because someone decided, actually a few nations decided, that the Netherlands couldn't be one thing because that meant that just Germany or France could invade it and be stronger. So they made it two things that were individually weaker. And we're like, this is a good idea. And then they both got invaded. So
oh, sure. People think that Germany and whatnot are the real evil people on the continent, but you just remember King Leopold II, and tell me about the Belgians and their.
Oh yeah, the Belgian Congo. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
That's another reason to not like the Belgians.
All right, are we ready to go?
Maybe that's why Serrano's defending Belgium. Taking inspiration.
Hi everybody, I'm A.D. Springer, also known as Corbinian, and I do not hate Belgium. The Electric Metropolis video game tour does not hate Belgium. Only the Dutch. No, I'm just kidding. But
I will fight you.
Freaky deaky Dutch.
But yes, this is another episode of Halanak Station, a Star Trek Adventures tale, and we're continuing the path of inheritance. And if the captain of the Da Vinci wishes, they can do a captain's log. Otherwise, I can go straight into it.
Sure. I mean, there's kind of a break in action. So this is right after we come back from a commercial about perfume and cigarettes is when I would give my captain's log while staring at the camera. Now, what that captain's log should be, I'd have to think.
I'll give you some time to think with a cold open, as we're at 2 threat. I'll ask you for it later, because I have someone to pick on. Wahaha.
Oh, who?
Fucking Shakespeare.
It's gonna be Serrano just sitting at home, like...
eating chips.
Yeah. No, how about you guys just tell us more hot takes about which nations you don't like?
Speaking of Chester A. Arthur.
Please, no. So...
oh, hey, it's Arthur.
It's a young Amos Venn.
Uh-oh.
Walking along with his father along a path through a jungle. What is your father's name, by the way? I have not asked.
I don't know if I ever gave him one.
Okay, God, I spelled his name wrong.
Fred.
I ever gave him a name.
Well. Nah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. I know I was gonna type, wouldn't work. So, you're walking through a jungle, and about what age would he be taking you on a little expedition, if you will? Just you and him, father and son.
Mm-hmm. Probably like 12.
Guess you're a little bigger than I thought you were. Do you have any like special things on you? You're going on a nice little trip out into a bit of jungle somewhere in the galaxy.
Yeah, we probably have just sort of like your standard what could be described as like safari gear, but it's all vaguely sci-fi. But like, 80s sci-fi, because this is next gen era that we're in.
So, as you're walking along and your father's kind of pointing out stuff and teaching you about this particular planet you're on, and upon this path, a crossroad kind of appears, and you come upon 2 other gentlemen who greet your father warmly, and he greets them back in a language your translator kind of struggles with for a second. And then he kind of looks over to you and says, this is my child, Amos.
Hi.
Hello there. He kind of kneels down to you. Is your birthday coming up, little one?
No, it was just a couple months ago.
Ah, well, consider this a late present. And he digs into his bag, and he hauls out this big tome, kind of hands it off to you. Your father kind of looks at it and just sighs and goes, really? It's a bit vainglorious, isn't it? What? He needs to learn the classics sometime. I mean, yes. What do you say, Amos?
Thank you.
You say as you're kind of struggling with this thing, because it is a big, heavy tome of a book. Leather bound, fancy lettering on the front.
Thank you. What does it say on the front?
You don't recognize the lettering. You think it's English in some variety, but you're not sure. And then as you're kind of reading it, and there's this obvious look of, I don't understand look on your face. Your father kind of looks down at the book. He doesn't know how to read that. Well, he should learn. They do things in fancy schools, don't they? I mean, and he wants to learn more about Earth. Yes, he does. Your Uncle William is trying to teach you the classics of Earth, and I hope you enjoy it, as me and your mother will teach you another language. Thank you, Uncle William. That is so thoughtful of you. I know, isn't it?
Yes, thank you, Uncle William.
So?
Because Ben is assuming that he's supposed to thank him again.
Yeah. Your father just kind of nods, like he's like, yes, that's the correct thing to do. But he's obviously paid like, hooray, I now have more work to do. Another gentleman kind of walks up to you, and during this conversation, just kind of, he's like right there behind you, just suddenly he's there. You have an interest in space, yes?
Yes?
I'm guessing you have a keen interest in chemistry.
I've been considering picking it up.
Oh.
You know, when I finally get to my next level in school, and I can take it.
You're also the sort that takes apart calculators, aren't you? Tricorders. Tricorders, yes. Pads. Stop helping. I'm sorry, you're the ones being anachronistic. He gives him a look.
I may have done that once or twice.
That explains why that was in
looks
pieces.
awkwardly off to the side.
That's why that was in pieces in the living room. This is your auntie. Sorry, your Uncle Arthur.
Hi, Uncle Arthur.
So, when are you gonna teach him about the Intergeum? I'm not. What do you mean you're not? What do you mean you're not? Come on. The big adventure, grand fights, and all that. He's not doing that. He's gonna go to school, and he's gonna learn with the other children, and he's gonna pick his own path. Well, that's just foolishness. He's gonna have to learn sometime. He will. But Amos here is enjoying his studies. Well, for the most part, anyway. He gives you a look and nods. Empathically, your empathic ability's not terribly nuanced at the moment. These two people, you've met them before at other functions. They've looked different when you've met them before, but you recognize familiar. Like, that is Uncle William. You remember that was Auntie some other name, but they're Uncle Arthur now. You know, but you recognize that person. They're just in a different form. Your father's thoughts are quite open. He seems, because you're used to him, you're kind of calibrated to him, so it's easy for you to understand your father and mother quite easily. Mm-hmm. Is your father the Betazoid or the human?
He's the Betazoid.
Yeah, so he keeps it open to you, and he just, you get the sense off of him that...
Oh, and there's the name.
Oh, you fired it at me. Gotcha. Lislin?
Yes.
Lislin. You get the sense off him that this is a very important cultural moment from a place he used to live in outside off of Betazoid. And these two people are part of that society. And it's a feeling that he feels like he doesn't want you to be part of it. It's something that he's kind of pulled himself away from, and he's trying to make sure you're not pulled into it automatically. But the other two are a mystery too. They've always been kind of hard for you to calibrate. Mind you, that could be, you have a hard time with adults. You're not outside the family anyway, especially non-Betazoids. But although actually, funny enough, usually the problem is that people are too open. Like, you hear too much because people don't actually like measure. It's like the kind of people who babble when they talk. Like, they talk to themselves. Except everyone does it. So that can be very overwhelming for a Betazoid kid, even a half Betazoid kid. These two are opaque. Like, you can't read into them at all.
Huh. Ben just kind of blinks in just confusion. He has no idea what the adults are talking about.
Now, Arthur, look. I'm fine with you coming over, but no more of this inter-GM talk, alright? Fine. But when he wants answers, he can come to you. I promise. It's okay. Alright, William. What's this fancy new thing you wanted to show us all anyway? You got my son tramping around in the jungle, which he is having fun, thankfully, but, you know, I'd rather we were coming out here other than bird watching. That's just it. I want to show you my new laboratory. New laboratory. Don't you have 5 others? I do. Stop counting. It's rude. I think counting is rude, but okay. You see, I've finally done it. You know where we're at? Not presently, no. We are at a place that was once a rock. This is a product of Aquarius. How's that Captain Love doing?
Yeah.
We'll cut over to the bridge of the Da Vinci. Oh, we're pulling everything with me. Whee. Commander Heifer in her chair. You two are on the away mission, aren't you? 3, rather.
So is Ensign Connect. Captain's log 1658-9. We continue to patrol this unexplored system, waiting for several ships inbound that could be hostile. I've already attempted to communicate with them to let them know not to come too close, to avoid any confrontation. In the meantime, a mysterious caretaker ship has come out of the gas giant in the system and has been moderately helpful in learning about this system. I have prepared a communication to notify Starfleet to send second contact teams to its location once the area has been secured. No report yet from the surface team. In log.
So at present, yes, you've gained your distance from the Starship Antiquarian. Airway team's still on the planet below. Do you continue your discourse with the alien starship, or do you do something else?
Yeah, I want to ask it one thing. I want to ask them. I have requested that the inbound ships stay away as to prevent any miscommunication and conflict happening within this space. It is possible that they refuse or that they have hostile intentions. If I think that's the case, I want your permission to bluff that you are a extremely powerful allied vessel to convince them not to come into the system.
You may make such a bluff, but I won't back it up. I will simply keep my silence.
That is the nature of a bluff. Thank you. Yeah, that's all I wanted to get from them. Until then, I yeah, they're going to be here soon enough that I don't really feel like it would be a good idea to do anything else. Because I don't want to get stuck in the middle of something when they show up.
Right. Tell me something. Of Haifa's programmer, designer, what do we know of him? What does Haifa know of him, or her, for that matter?
Haifa is a recreation of a engineer who worked at Utopia Planitia and worked on the initial experiments in quantum slipstream technology. A ensign on board a testbed Excelsior used a holodeck to run some experiments, and he left out a hyphen when telling the ship how much power to transfer to the holodeck and how much to use. Right. He intended to say, use 100% of the holodeck's power allowance and deliver that 100%, but with the missing hyphen in his code, he told the ship to provide 100,000% power. And that directing the entire output of the warp core through the ship's computer is what allowed Haifa to achieve sentience. So, yeah. Haifa's maker did not do it intentionally.
What do you think Haifa's creator would think, or what does Haifa think her creator would think of her existence now, what she's achieved so far in Starfleet?
That, I mean, probably pretty impressed at how far Haifa's gotten. This is a, not even 30-year-old ensign who kind of had a sloppy track record with engineering projects. So he didn't get far himself. And the person Haifa was created to resemble was already dead before Haifa came into existence. So it's a little different than humanoids, because right, your parent, your creator, right, has many years to get to know you as your personality develops. Haifa got to meet their progenitor as a fully formed person, while that person was frantically trying to figure out what they had screwed up. So their relationship is not normally is not normal in nature.
Give me Insight Command difficulty 2 as Haifa's you kind of have some dead time where you're kind of waiting for things to happen. People are giving reports, you're giving automatic responses. There's not a whole lot. You're waiting for something to happen, sort of thing. So you have some time you have some processing to spare.
Oh, if I have significant time,
You have a few hours at least.
I might try to make some progress on the project I was working on. I didn't know if I had enough time to get in the middle of something without.
You don't know for sure, but it's a significant amount of time passes, and Haifa ends up with sort of this wandering mind time. Like probably starting to think, like the end of this thought's probably, if it's going to take this long, I might just take a crack at and then something's probably going to happen at that point. The dramatic timing and all. But Insight Command...
Oh, wait, I was in the middle... Hold on. We have it pinned. I was in the middle of eliciting what the nature of that other ship was. Mm-hmm. And we have a whole task for it.
Yeah. I was wondering why I assumed you just
I forgot. I forgot about all of that. Can I finish that?
You can get a roll off on it, yeah, before we cut.
Yeah, because I'm much more interested in the answer to that than just waiting around.
Aw. I mean, yay.
Okay, I called him back saying, sorry, there was a whole lot more I wanted to ask.
It's like, oh, I guess you want to take a break for a while. Maybe you need to use the bathroom. I don't. Oh, okay then. Yeah, Presence Command, difficulty 2, magnitude 2 of 4, work 8 of 20. I will bump the difficulty up by 1, so it's up to 3. As you continue your dialogue to elicit more information about these strange people.
I'll give you a threat.
It's not everybody, just...
since I have made some progress and learned some things about them, can I use cultural studies?
You could, yeah.
And if allowed, I'll use 3 threat to squash resistance.
Take it. Hit it on the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 5 straight. 13 work. 3 magnitude done. Difficulty drops again. The third magnitude, as you re-engage in the dialogue, you get the feeling from them that they're answering questions, but they also kind of phrase them in a way that kind of elicits information about yourself. Not the ship. You've already kind of given them the, hi, we're the Federation, here's Ryza, do you want to go ice climbing, go to Andor, the welcome package. But they seem to be trying to learn about you, almost by way of how you answer things. So it's almost like they're doing an extended task on you while you're learning about them as a ship.
These questions don't have the air of we hate artificial intelligence.
For a threat, I can answer that.
For
two-thread it does.
No, that's fine. If they think they're
That would
tough
be like
enough,
a really good horror
they can make it
exchange where it's
strange.
like you're talking with them and you think they're friends, but only because they don't realize that you're not a real person. And as you're talking, they're like, "Well, I'm so
Ooh.
glad to be with you
Not
and
a
not some
real
kind of
person,
robot."
they
Well, I know who you'd agree with in the whole
Yeah.
situation.
Hey! Some of my best friends are holograms. They tend to be really militarist.
Well, that's great. They really up the efficiency of the camps because they really don't get tired or have to sleep.
So, what the hell?
They call them server farms.
Good God. So, that's what that magnitude is. That's what you learn from that. Moving on to another place and another time. Actually sweep over to a new scene. Back to station operations of Halanak Station.
With their best friend holograms.
Shush you.
Vince no law of judgment for a very neutral statement.
But people like to fill in the blanks as that people are nice that way. I'm just immature. So, Captain of Star Sayrana, you have the con at the moment. You have station ops as Thralik is off attending to some Starfleet matter. The celebrations are still going on. It's Harmony Day, or Harmony Week as it were, is still being richly enjoyed by various members. And there's a lot of there's almost extra lack of tension. Like people are celebrating almost a secondary thing of hooray, the FIS and our allies helped save the FIS from usurpers sort of thing. No one points it out that way, but people watch the news. People pay attention to what's going on in their, it's a very active polity. So people are happy for another reason. Your crew and ops are working away, managing various ships coming and going, monitoring the various committees and subcommittees of the FIS. What are you up to?
Well, that's a very good question. What are the politics of the FIS like at current? I did an index. Yeah, let me just check in. What is the status on the handling of the fallout of the pooch right now?
It's going through the legal system pretty thoroughly because it's one of the FIS's legal system is one of those that they prepare, they load for bear and then they come at you with full force. So it's the investigative part is slow, but once you're in the system, it typically goes fast. The exception being the harbingers, like the fact that they're going slowly through it is unusual, and that's more of a political cultural machination. There's in the sense that there's buying forces who want different things for different outcomes, whereas this in the coup's case, because the mastermind is basically surrendered and is cooperating with the FIS, things are going incredibly quickly. It's being torn apart rather handedly. And there's a clear distinction between your militarists and his militarists. Like he there's a very different. It's obvious there's different political views. You do lose some supporters because there's some people who believed in you and him, and they get pulled out. And I imagine you denounce anyone who supported that new way. Which you get to do snippet. You have to write a letter every once in a while to go, hey,
calm down.
yeah.
Okay. In that case, I think I will use this time to further advance my extended task, because I would like to make some public appearances and sort of gingerly argue that the success of our security forces in stopping this coup only further legitimizes my position that our security forces need to be bulked up, and shows just how dangerous the world is and how much more needs to be done to keep the FIS safe.
And so she has learned nothing.
At present, you're at 0 of 25 work. You have 2 magnitude achieved. Resistance is pulled down by 2 due to traits. Current difficulty is 3.
Okay, let me pull this all up. Do you have this somewhere?
Yeah, it's in the pins. It's quite a ways down. It's one of the early ones we fired.
Here we go. Okay. 2 of 5, worked my 5. Okay. Sure, Sayron is not going to be in this episode this much, so we might as well burn all of her resources.
And that was when Corbidian changed his plan.
I was thinking the same thing.
Hey, I always have new character ideas. If you kill her off, I'll just come up with something else. I can't promise they will be better.
I don't kill characters off. I just haunt them.
I was about to say, Corbinian could do much worse than kill you.
I mean, sorry, I have to clear my throat vigorously.
All right, focus in politics. If I'm doing public appearances and sort of publicly making the case that like more needs to be done, can I argue this is like presence command?
I could see that, yeah.
All right, that's a 14. All right. I am going to spend on my value. We must become an arsenal of democracy. In that, I believe that we must improve our defensive capabilities in order to keep ourselves safe. Because there can't be any democracy if we are too weak to be overthrown by anyone and everyone around us.
I follow you.
All right. In that case, take 5 threat.
5 threat eye.
And let's go. Okay, so that's 6. And was it diff 3? Yeah. No, that GIF is appropriate. Oh, so what was the difficulty? I lost the pin.
3, yeah.
3, okay. So that means I've got 3 momentum. All right. Rolling 4 challenge dice. It's
6
equal to your 6.
2 plus discipline.
Yeah. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6. What is there? This is 2 at current. Can I spend 1 for piercing, which would take us up to
6.
9 minus 2.
You gain 6 work, which would be a breakthrough.
All right.
Yeah. In the wake of this, you're able to kind of. Some of the doubt that people had in your cause was that you were going to be like the former Minister of Defense. That you were it was going to be this. Because they've seen it in other alien cultures. They've seen how that turns out. And heck, even the in theory, as a very militant commissariat of individuals, they are friendly to it, but there's only so far. They like your version of it, not the Minister of Defense's version. They didn't like that version. That's too beholden to somebody else, and they barely like being beholden to the FIS, let alone some distant interstellar empire with questionable motives. So it's a lot of assuaging people, letting people know, no, we're not that, we're this, and that helps. Like, there's a clear exemplar that you've proven you're not that. It's like, no, I'm not that, I'm this. Martial Alliance, sure, but not like, we're not going that far.
No. I'll make the point that what I'm advocating is little different than what the Starfleet has. The Starfleet is the military that defends the peaceful utopia that is the Federation. If we want to be that peaceful utopia in which all of our citizens are happy and healthy and able to live their lives to the fullest, then what we need is a military to keep us safe, just like the Federation, who we are allies of, and we always will be.
And that was the other thing too. People really thought that your cause was going to divorce you away from the Halanak agreement with Starfleet, and it's like, no. That's not my plan. Anyway, that's not my plan currently. Whereas the Minister of Defense was like, no, I'm going to move on to somebody else. But also, people had this idea that you're going to break the Halanak agreement, and it's like, no, we're going to change it. Well, we're not changing it; we're changing us, which is a different kettle of fish. At the end of all that, you do get a invite to speak with the presiding speaker.
All right, and I will accept it.
And you come upon him as, whoops, that is not what I was going for. Drawing tool. Just different enough to throw me off. There we go. Brighter than I wanted. There we go. The presiding speaker, Varys, is on the planet below, on Upantar. And he is glistening rather proudly. He's in good spirits. This is probably the first time he's been on planet for a good long while. And he seems to be standing near, but he's not connected to the Great Slime that quite a few of your fellow Upantari are connecting with or melding into. Because it's a great time to meet, to reconnect with the species as a whole. Some people reconnect with their family if they weren't a clone, or they even see who divided and made themselves, or the people who birthed, quote unquote, you. Varys, tragically, it's one of those stories and everyone knows that he was cloned from a previous Varys, and that clone died fighting pirates, which was. He doesn't begrudge it, and surprisingly, he doesn't hold anything against them. It's just one of those sad things that happens to FIDF officers. So there's no one. But he gets if he wanted to, he can reconnect with the species as a whole. So he's standing there, but he looks in good spirits. And people are saying their hellos and highs to him, but everyone's focused on the Great Slime. The Great Slime is far more important than he is. As far as Upatari are concerned, there are some aliens who are gawking a bit. A little rudely, but Upatari kind of put up with it. The In Theory used to gawk. The Savix Cast used to gawk. They got used to it and like, okay, we've seen it enough. We're gonna do something else now.
Yeah. So I'll approach him and say, greetings, presiding speaker. To what do I owe the pleasure of speaking with you?
Oh, Captain of Stars. I'm wondering what your plans are for the future on this Harmony Day. What are you hoping to achieve for our free information sphere? Or he kind of touches you lightly with one of his tendrils, or whatever it is you're going to rename us all if you pull off what you're doing. And he lets go. There's a bit of joking there, like the name Free Information Sphere is going to change into something. It may stay the same in your new world, for all he knows.
Yeah, she kind of, she sort of flashes briefly in surprised colors and then embarrassed colors, and then says, "Oh well, I don't want you to fret. There are some for whom politics forces an uncomfortable closeness, who have more radical ideas than I, but for myself, I have been in firsthand view of the many crises we've faced, the many problems and dangers we were not fully cognizant of before the Halanak agreement, and it is only confirmed to me that if we want this nascent beacon upon a hill to survive, then it needs a strong defense force to keep it that way. As for my plans for the future, you know how it's like in the Shackleton. Things change on a week to week, if not day to day basis. My position as first officer on the station is, and my role in the FIDF as a captain of the stars will remain my primary duty. Although I can't say I haven't thought about ambitions beyond that point.
Have you considered
Mm.
higher office? As you may know, there's going to be a few openings in the ministries in the coming weeks. And your name is not one that is said idly anymore.
Out of character, may I ask, is this an incoming election season that he's referring to, or is this a cabinet shuffle in the wake of everything that happened?
It's a cabinet shuffle that's happening, so there's going to be, and it's going to be at least one slot at the end of the day that's going to be left open, and it's going to be up for contention, whichever one it is.
Yeah, then her colors sort of flash brightly in anticipation, and she says, "Well, I must say I did not think my name was being thrown around for such a high office." And then she pauses and says, "If you are offering, I will say yes."
You are ever much a slime of stars. I will remind you that in the vaunted levels of Halanak Station, one is not merely invited into the ministries. One steps forth to offer their services. I am letting you know that I think you could step forth. And I think you have a chance of winning. It's just a matter of making sure you step forward into a space that you know you can fit in. Nothing's worse than trying to fit into a space that is too out of shape for one's exoskeleton. After all, it is one you can force. It is not one I advise you forcing.
She nods. I understand. How long do I have?
The discussion will be going on for some time. But let's just say offering yourself sooner rather than later is to your advantage. But if you wait an extra bit of time to take the patient second thought, perhaps even connect, he looks over at the Great Slime for a while, then it will be harder, but not impossible. I hesitated when I reached for the presiding speakership, and I had to face a rather formidable opponent to get it, but I got it. Just a matter of what one is willing to sacrifice for one's ambition.
She nods her head. Right. Well, you've given me a lot to think about. I will consult my inner circle. I will consider things, and I will let you have a final answer shortly. I appreciate the foreknow-this and the opportunity, presiding speaker. When I enlisted in the officers academy, I never thought I would go even this far. And well, you know, even if nothing comes of anything, I think I can rest happily on where I've gotten thus far.
He reaches out again and touches to you, and you get a memory of him, a much younger slime, and he was offered by a previous Minister of Defense to push for the position, and he didn't back then. He was more concerned about his military career. It wasn't until later that he had his rivalry with the mastermind of this new thing, and he kind of, in a way, he regrets that. He thinks he could have stopped it at the time. But in the same memory and the same feeling, he gives you the sensation of you're not the same slime as he is, so you may have a completely different experience, but be wary of turning down something that you may not be able to get back again. Though he acknowledges there's a big sacrifice, and he shows a few brief memories of various other paths he thinks he could have gotten if he'd done differently. He might have had your job, for example, which sounds fun to him, but that's not going to happen. Even if he steps down as presiding speaker, that would complicate matters with Starfleet. He doesn't want to bother. He's probably going to be a minister of something else, even if he's not a presiding speaker. And he lets go.
I mean, the classic sinecure for retired politicians is to become an ambassador. And well, there's a lot of alpha and beta quadrant powers out there he could be ambassador to.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. In which case she will tell him thank you for the memory. And say, is there anything else you needed me for?
He pauses. Makes colorful gestures at someone who passes by, that flashes colors at him, and he gives them a hello. Yes, hi, I see you. That is all, Captain of Stars. I don't want to take too much of your time on your Harmony Week. I know you're busy as I am, so it's hard to get time for yourself once in a while. Good day. And it looks like he's going to approach the Great Slime, and then he just kind of thinks better of it for some reason, and he kind of starts sliding away to go do something else in the city.
Yeah, she'll be surprised that he doesn't approach it, and she will use the opportunity to spend some time linked within the Great Slime.
And what is your presence score?
Hold on. 10.
Roll for me 10 challenge dice, please. You generate 4 momentum as you connect with the bulk of your species and get insights on a variety of things. People older than you, people younger than you. Sometimes you're the one giving someone else advice. And just generally enjoying that interconnectedness of the greater whole. But still, you're very much your own individual.
No, I imagine, for most of my life as a younger slime, I was learning information. But now, as I've aged, I have all of this experience with aliens, many of which other people in the Upentari community have never had much experience with. So I can be like, this is what Andorians are like, or this is what Klingons are like, and stuff like that. And sharing those experiences, aids the Great Slime's overall understanding of the wider universe.
For momentum, you can ask questions of the Great Slime, of the various Upentari, and they will, if they know it, they will tell you it. If they don't, I'll give you back the momentum, because no one in the Great Slime knows it.
Okay. Um. Ooh. Let me think. If anyone has any ideas, feel free to shoot them because nothing springs to my head right away.
Um, can can you almost like take a survey? Can you gauge general opinion on a topic, or is it just like you can reach out and ask a question and someone will answer back?
You could do a survey. That's something that would be possible.
Then you might do a survey to try to truly understand how popular your ideas are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I will be my own campaign manager for once and try to. This might be too momentum, but I'd like to assuage my own personal popularity and the popularity of my movement.
For 2 momentum, you could impress that upon those in the Great Slime, because they have access. Because you can open yourself completely to them and go like, no. Here is all my thoughts and memories on the topic. I'm trying to get you. This is truly how I feel.
Mm-hmm. Sure, why not?
Certainly, as you have countless slimes in here who are all connected and feeling it. So easily done. And actually, to your task, that brings down one of the resistance. Because a significant portion of people have been educated on what you're really feeling. And among Opentari, even if you weren't part of the Great Slime, someone says, oh, I was at the Great Slime recently, and I talked to them about it. It's like, oh, they were there. Oh, neat. You know. That's worth knowing. And it's hard to lie in here. People have lied in the Great Slime, but it doesn't last for very long. People find out eventually. Yeah, any other questions or advantages you wish to impress upon the Opentari people?
Well, did I get an answer?
The general feeling is the Opentari as a people are wary of such an idea. They're wary that it will invite predators upon them, whereas they're more their xenophilic way of interacting with the universe has benefited them more often than not. So there is this worry that their militarism will counter their current ideologies, but they're willing to experiment because it has been some time. Maybe that's the form we have to take. We're not thrilled with the idea, but if that's the way it is, that's the way it is. One adjusts when one has to. So that's kind of the feeling. No one's like enthused, but except there are a few who are like, no, I'm FIDF, or I know someone's FIDF. That, there's people out there that want to hurt us, and there's no amount of research that'll make that go away. Not yet, anyway. So. But there's no outright opposition. There's no like flower power super push back in the wider Opentari.
In that case, with all of that known, I will simply enjoy the presence of the slime and not pester people any further.
Oh, don't worry, people will pester you. What's a spaceship like? You can just go up. Why are you asking me? I mean, you can. I'll answer, but like that seems like an odd thing to go into the Great Slime for.
I can answer them all sorts of questions about what Starfleet spaceships are like. Those are much harder to get drips on.
That's true. All right, and now we change scene. Hello, there we go. Into the strange facility we return. As everyone's kind of in this control space within the facility. Oh, there it is. The time-space manipulation chamber. Various consoles and control systems and holographic imaging.
I will use a quick survey here at the start of a scene to basically ask a question as if I'd spin a momentum. Do I see the console that... Well, okay, let me ask it a different way.
Quick BRB, I'll let you process that.
Oh, okay. Well then, I won't ask that question right away then.
Oh boy.
Settle down, Scott Bakula.
No.
Oh, I was muted.
I am back.
So yeah, I want to see if, because as I look at these screens, I can make them appear in Iotian apparently. Do I see the screen that controls the, or the console controlling the building's movement through space-time, like that got it from Upentar to here and might be able to get it back?
It does.
It does what?
Or rather, you do, I should say.
Okay. I found the control screen. You might be able to shift it back.
And I'm guessing that would shift us with it while we're here, or no? Or are we just entirely unaware of how this would function?
But I recognize this place, right?
Mm-hmm. You've walked in this room before. With your Uncle William, your Uncle Arthur, and your father.
Ven just sort of looks around. Wait. I've been here before.
What?
That seems impossible.
Yeah, that's... Whoa. He sort of shakes his head, like, disbelieving it, and then, like, shakes his head again, like, no, this is it. 10 years ago.
This is what?
I've been in this room before.
Okay. Can you tell
10
us
years...
more about how it operates?
Do I remember anything about how this room operates?
Insight Engineering, difficulty 3. You were a young kid at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not that young. He said he was 12. He wasn't like
That's
6.
true. Yeah.
Top of the class
Mhm.
trait. Cool.
You have 2?
Nerd.
Reverse engineering focus.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you 1 threat and 2 momentum for 4 dice.
Oops. Oh, I got it.
Oh no.
Was it a very Ven roll?
Yeah, it is. It is a very Ven roll. You know what? I'm just gonna let that complication ride. That seems interesting.
I'm going to send you something.
Uh-oh. We're in danger.
This wee shit, white boy.
Yeah, I was gonna say we can hope that it's you're in danger, and the rest of us are just fine.
How are we in danger, Fen? Please elaborate.
I don't know. The game master hasn't told me yet.
Well, he's off his rocker. What the hell's a game master?
Oh, that's what this is. He's been gambling too much.
Oh, oh. Oh, and is this this something that what's the way of putting it? Is this something that I know would have happened in my own timeline? Like the original timeline that I'm from, because I've got all that weird like
You mean the timeline that doesn't exist?
oh no. Don't tell me that.
By the way, fitness medicine difficulty 5. I seen this. That seems pretty traumatic.
Yeah, it's just for him, right?
Just for him, yeah.
Yeah.
Stop that. I'm just gonna nope. I'm not gonna spend anything towards that. Time for some trauma.
The Starfleet checkbox that
I'm
just
sorry,
says Vin incident.
Fitness. That's only one success, unfortunately.
Oh, well, you can't super fail. You just kind of just fail. I don't get I don't get threat from that, darn you. But you know what happens to you? A nice thing. Roll for me 9 challenge dice, please.
Oh no.
3,
Oh
4, 5, 6, 7,
no.
8, 10.
Did Ben just like think himself to death?
Man, you're gonna lose another limb this episode, I can tell.
You're suffering 10 stress of just because the memory it's almost like either it was locked off from you or you blocked it off. But the revelation of this all, it hits you like a ton of bricks. Like it's just this psychic weight that you've been bearing for years, and now you're suddenly forced to bear it in the middle of something. And it just stresses you out completely because completely distracts you. It is a non-lethal injury. If you fall, you'll just kind of go into a fugue because you're just kind of lost in the thought. And unfortunately, this is intense, so it costs 3 to avoid the injury.
Yeah, no, he's not going to. Is you just watch Ven just like looking around. He starts sort of hyperventilating. Oh man, what's that like? That one thing with the fisheye and that one GIF. I can't remember what it's from.
Fisheye.
Like fisheye lens.
Oh. It's like with the camera from a television point of view, kind of wide angle shot and kind of.
Ben?
When it's trying to show
Ben?
you high.
Okay.
And he drops.
All right, Kovic, we'll see if he can't stabilize or bring him around. Triox compound, some bullshit.
Give me control plus medicine difficulty. There's a med kit somewhere among you.
Yeah, Covet grabbed one before he came down.
Yep.
For just this person.
It was an addition that was mentioned.
Control medicine difficulty of 3. As you're trying to bring him out of this very vicious mental cycle he's caught up in.
Okay. Intuitive that maybe, I can do some kind of talk therapy kind of thing to him while, to kind of bring him out while I'm pumping him full of good Star Trek drugs.
I'll take it, yeah.
Good Star Trek.
That's the real reason the fisheye camera there is he's high as hell.
That brings it down to diff 2.
That's pharmaceutical triox. Wee.
Okay, so it's not
Breathe
super
all
great,
the
it's
air.
not super bad. So let me give you a momentum and 2 threat for 4 dice,
Momentum. 2 threat.
and I just hit it.
Nice.
I'm starting to get I'll just say this. I'm starting to get the distinct impression that my parents might have been the baddies.
No.
Yeah, you're after some talking him around, because at first you kind of have to rapidly diagnose him in the middle and try to figure out like what's happening. Is he under psychic attack or something? And it as you're treating him, you realize it's like some part of him was unlocked, and suddenly it's like a mental dam gave, and it's just overwhelming his mind. So you kind of fire some pharmaceuticals into him. You talk to him some more to make sure it's actually doing anything, and that's like, okay, it's doing the right thing, and you keep going until eventually he comes out of it.
I look up at Rylov and go, "Kid just overloaded for a second. He's got too much to process all of a sudden."
He looks around and says, I'm really here. Here again. Dad,
Yes, you are, Ensign.
Oh, Dad, what did you do?
Oh, Lieutenant, actually, isn't it? I keep forgetting he got promoted.
He just sort of looks
Dad.
around.
What does your dad have to do with anything?
He brought me here years ago.
Years
uncle-
ago, Starfleet wouldn't have made first contact with the FIS all those years ago.
It wasn't here on this planet. It was. What do I remember the name of the world that we were on?
No, the trauma kind of hit you pretty hard. A lot of that memory's jumbled now, because the minute you start thinking about it, you start hyperventilating, and it's like, no, I don't. Focusing on it seems to be bad for you right now.
We were. Just remember. Jungle. Father's on vacation, and my Uncle William and Uncle Arthur were there, and came here, this place, this room, and they fought, and my dad managed to get 2 of us out, but he had to send them. He sent them somewhere, somewhen. Dad, what?
Okay,
This exact
Ensign.
facility, or something that is structurally similar or identical?
Is there anything in this room that I can see that that tells me that this isn't just a copy of the room? This is the.
Inside engineering difficulty 2.
Could I consider this? Because I did make a successful roll earlier. This is. Hang on. Testing a theory into practice.
That apply to engineering roles.
Yes, engineering and science.
Oh, yes.
Okay, I get 3 dice. And the difficulty is only 1. It's a momentum generated.
You look around the room, and on this wall, you see something you doodled while you were bored. Like you were probably like you weren't a little kid. You were probably like figuring out something, and you've seen people kind of draw on walls that kind of posit out something.
Yeah.
You know, like you were gonna draw it and then like wipe it away real quick when you were done, but you never had a chance to do that because of what happened. But you see your doodle still on the wall.
Hydrophosphorate. I was
Hydra, who's
Never-
or not now?
I remember I was bored, so Uncle Arthur said that I had a mind for chemistry, and so I was doodling hydrocosafluorate on the wall, the chemical structure, and he steps away and he points to what looks to be a rather simple schoolboy's drawing of some chemical structure.
Which to any Starfleet personnel or even Romulan personnel with a science of 2 or higher, you recognize what that is on a glance. Now that it's been pointed out to you.
Well, I've got a 1.
Yeah, it's too basic for you
Centurion?
to understand it.
Centurion, how confident are we in trusting the testimony of the lieutenant at this point? I believe this cave may be psychologically impacting him in a way that.
Ensign
All I'm
Mula,
saying is
a
his
drawing
Oh,
on
now
a
who's
wall
being
is
a
not
bully?
Yeah, I was going to say, a drawing on a wall is not a psychological impact that is affecting all of us.
Oh, wait. Then flips out his tricorder, and he's going to take a scan of it, of the drawing on the wall.
Okay.
How long has it been here?
Oh, damn it.
A minute and a half.
Give me, I suppose, a reason science difficulty of it's a known compound because you know what you drew it with. 1.
Yep, cool. I'm spending a momentum. Chemistry focus.
Yeah.
It's just
Sorry if you hear scraping noises. It's me trying to. So.
cool. That's 2 momentum. Oh boy.
2 momentum, you say.
Yeah, 2 momentum.
Let's see.
Oh boy. uh, uh, um, um,
Use your words, Lieutenant. Come on.
hang on, I have to confirm something. Okay, it's not quite that old. It's not, at least it's not the beginning of the universe.
What are you on about?
We are not inside your head. You do need to speak, Lily.
This drawing has been sitting here on this wall. If I'm, detecting, breakdown of minor isotopes, and the nature of the preservation of this chamber, which is unique on a chronoton scale. I'd have to say this drawing is sitting here for 4.5 billion years.
which I think makes it highly statistically unlikely that you yourself drew it.
Unless you just look really good for your age.
No. This is. I drew this 10 years ago.
Well, okay.
Ensign, isn't it
No.
more likely that you believe you've drawn something 10 years ago than for you to have
Ensign
time
cannot.
traveled 4.5 billion years into the past?
Well, look, we know that this entire structure is capable of moving through space and time. It was literally plucked from Upantar and taken way the hell over here.
Exactly.
These panels, every time we look at them, you can make them read out in whatever language you want. So, yeah, you may have just inscribed it 10 years ago subjectively, but God only knows where and when this building has been between now and then. Our problem is to get it back to Upantar, where we can get it back to doing what it was doing for the Upantar and the FIS, which was pretty much fundamental to their existence, and also get it to where you people can study it and protect it and do all that good Starfleet stuff.
And to my understanding, Lieutenant Venn, you said people were left here?
Yeah. Uncle Arthur. William.
I don't know.
Yes,
the
well,
nature
if
of
they
how
come
this
along, we'll
thing's-
make tea, but
Yes. But it's more, there's likely
I-
something else in this facility, or there's a possibility for something else or someone
I-
else in this facility.
I get the distinct impression that they probably haven't been here for a while.
Either way.
If we are to believe this supposition, then that would mean that this building has gone through 10 billion years of relative time since you last visited, which I think rules out the continued living of your Uncle Arthur.
4.5.
right. So again, get building back to Upantar before cloaky ships come.
Yep.
And before native people realize that we're here mucking about. Not that I really have a problem with that, but Starfleet does.
Yes. Lieutenant, Ensign Mila, please look into that. If you need assistance in the point of view of a different perspective, let us know. This is supposedly the control room for managing such.
See if can't work this out.
And if you feel all wibbly wobbly again, use this inhaler.
And I'll try to contact the ship. Comm badge. Centurion
Vince.
Rylov to Da Vinci. This is while they're doing whatever in the background.
Then starts looking over the console.
Vivek, out of an overabundance of caution, we'll just kind of check out to make sure, see what's through that door.
Mm.
Whoops.
Centurion Rylov to Da Vinci.
I mean, I'm here, but I don't know what
Yeah.
order the GM's doing things in.
Also, we don't know if that goes through at all.
Cool, pool table.
Oh, nice.
Here. What number are you? No, come here. Thank you. You see a grand holographic three-dimensional representation of various planetoids and a star, along with various other, in a much smaller font. It looks like little holographic representations of something, but you're not entirely sure what it is from this distance.
Interesting stellar cartographic display or something in here. Do I recognize any of the planets?
Insight science difficulty of 2.
This is the system we're in.
Yeah. I'll just roll it flat like an idiot. Would observation work?
It would, yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, this is the star system you're in.
No. Looks like the star system we're in, I call back through the door. Like, well, do I know enough to know? Okay, this looks like the current positions and condition of the star system.
Last you saw back in the Da Vinci, it seems correct. There's probably some deviation, but
Right.
it's close enough.
Seems to be current-ish.
Commander Haifa, you get informed by your crew that the away team's trying to contact you. Because you're probably in the middle of discussing things with this other ship, and then someone kind of gives you a message on your console to let you know that Ryloff's trying to call.
Commander Haifa here.
We have entered a unknown alien facility, and found a control room that might be able to control the displacement of this facility back to Upanta. We're looking into that possibility at the current time, though there are a number of unique phenomena going on, including Lieutenant Ven's seeming prior engagements with this facility at a different location.
Is he still conscious?
He is. He has recovered from his temporary
Rude.
bout of being overwhelmed.
Is there anything you need, or have you got it in hand?
At this current time, we have it in hand, though it seemed prudent to let you know that we may simply cease to be here and arrive at Upanta.
If Kovic doesn't like transporters, he's not gonna like that.
Well,
All
I
right.
mean, I don't mind transporters. That just depends on the operator.
I'll keep me informed.
Well, in this case, the operator might be Ven.
Will do,
So
Captain.
Better than Haifa.
I saw the shuttle vanish.
Did you steal my ship?
Someone stole
You
your
don't know. Insight Science difficulty 2, a system of ship sensor science.
Of course, you didn't leave anyone with the shuttle, did you?
God.
I'll spend a momentum.
Certainly.
Okay, Click's been laying eggs in there.
Hey, you gaining
We'll just leave
momentum.
that alone.
There's some good news.
Yep.
Are we congratulating Click on his successful transition? Because I did not know that he was a queen insect.
They all lay eggs, apparently.
Well, I was gonna.
Oh,
Hey,
okay.
Hey, what are you talking about? We all knew that Click was a.
Right.
Dramatic enough. No,
It's been fabulous since day one.
Haifa, you get a report that there is a weird signal coming from the planet, which you kind of, as you're kind of talking with Ryloff, you take a look at it to, maybe it's something important, maybe it's something you need to warn the away team of. And then the officer isn't familiar with this signature. You are. Your shuttle just went quantum slipstreamed away from here.
Uh-oh.
It is no longer on the planet. It is somewhere else.
Oh,
I'll
Uncle
say-
William.
Centurion Rylov, who's in the shuttle?
There should be no personnel in the shuttle.
Why is there no one in the shuttle? Someone has stolen our shuttle.
Oh no. Uh-oh.
Unexpected, given the lack of advanced life forms.
Do you have a place in this facility with which you can be beamed out?
We have a manner with which we could get to the surface.
Okay, proceed at once. I'm headed to the beam out location.
You wish us to abandon the attempt at moving the facility?
We are a Starfleet vessel, and Starfleet's asset retrieval of Starfleet assets takes priority over asset retrieval of FIS property. Be over shortly.
It could be reasonable to leave personnel here to continue the process.
Not when there's warships inbound. I can't guarantee your safety.
This is true. There is one person here that you are unable to instruct.
As a civilian, he can make that decision if he wishes.
Very well, Commander.
Da Vinci out. And then I guess I'm taking the ship to hover over the planet because I'm going to beam them out and get out of here and search for where that shuttle went.
Van, Mila, Kenneth, you have 5 minutes.
Okay.
Let's go to find COVID.
Ven is, as mentioned before, going to attempt to get a handle on the controls, which he's been doing the past couple minutes. Anyway, well, this whole conversation.
Yeah, it looks like you're able to kind of understand it to some degree, and you understand, and thankfully your years in Starfleet do help you with this. What's your con?
My con? Great, it's a 2.
So you have some basic understanding of astronavigation and interstellar topography and stuff like that. So there's certain things on that front you're kind of ground yourself and it's like, okay, that's the nav sensor, that's the astral charting. Okay, there's no warp thing because this thing doesn't warp. Okay, so don't bother looking for that. Okay, that must be throttle control of some kind. Then there's these other, so you start getting, okay, these are the spatial controls of some kind, like how you move the thing from one place to another. Although it feels more like a transporter control than a thruster control. But, that's, you're able to wrap your head around that. It's not that foreign to you. The other controls are the ones that lose you pretty quickly. You do understand them, but also you've never used this kind of control system before. It is temporal. If you're able to move in through space, then this thing moves you up and down through time.
Right. Well,
and you kind of need to set both, is the thing, because you have to choose not only where you're going, but when you're going there.
Cool. Gotcha. Well, good news is, I'm not trying to do something overly I still have to figure out how the temporal controls work. But the good news is I'm not trying to do anything fancy. I'm not trying to heavily displace us in time. I'm trying to keep us to the same time. So hopefully the sequence for that is on the simpler end. And if I assuming that, given that my silly drawing is still there after all these untold eons, presumably that means whatever settings were put in here last are the settings that my father used to send it all the way back into the distant past. Meaning that, I'm looking it over, trying to work backwards from, okay, if I consider that whatever the settings are right now are for 4.5 billion years in the past, and I extrapolate backwards. Because I do technically have one data point for the time controls of this thing.
To transport this whole facility to back to Upantar, Control con, difficulty 4, assisted by, you don't know. You think the facility will try to help, but you don't know. You have no.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to wrap your head around it, but you remember you didn't get to explore the place that much, so you don't know the full capabilities of Aquarius.
Vincent, Lieutenant, what are you attempting to do? We have limited time.
Yeah, but I'm getting the distinct impression that here time is something that we actually have a lot of. Actually, here's a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have a general sense of how big this place is? I feel like we scanned it. I feel like we scanned it before.
You had a very it's roughly scale 3 multi-building facility, made up of 8 primary complexes. You're in one of the building complexes that's really close to another building complex.
Oh, this is a whole complex.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Yeah. Then, as mentioned, we should try to get back to Upentar. That's the mission. I'm just trying to see what I can. Oh, and because it's con, testing a theory into practice doesn't proc. Hold on.
While you're pondering on that, Ryloff, you go to collect Kovac as you find him approaching some of the control surfaces of that control surface. The things that look like controls, they're hovering in the 3-dimensional air. Because it's holographics, so.
Forward, back, A, B, left.
Control, start.
2 little figures start running along the bottom, shooting random aliens, and then vanish.
So as I'm approaching this thing, and there are these smaller icons or whatever, once I get closer, am I able to get any clue of what they are indicators of?
They are indicators that you can give me insight, science, difficulty 2. As it does start giving you like little highlight lettering appears next to them, and it's a lot of you trying to guess what those it's like little abbreviations pop up, and you kind of have to go, wait, what does that mean? I'm not a scanning person, like I'm not a scientist, but maybe I remember what that means.
Okay, intuitive trait.
Yep, that totally applies here.
Okay, and I'll give you a momentum for a third die. See if I can. Gained 2.
These seem to be alerting you to the fact that there is various life forms on the planet. That there are certain gases on the gas giant, that there are certain microorganisms on the Class D planet, the current status of the star. There's an indicator of the USS Da Vinci as you see it moving very rapidly into orbit of the planet you're on.
Right.
You also detect that there are 2 other vessels at long range that are coming toward your position. They are ETA about 2 hours. There's another vessel that is listed as a friendly that is in orbit of the gas giant. And something left here at quantum slipstream speeds. And you can see it's like exit vector, like where it's going.
Check this out, Rylov. Looks like a live display of the system and the planet.
So in regards to my thing, top of my class and intuitive stellar observer.
I will warn you, Vin, once you press the go button, you go. This place will move.
Okay. Got it.
You want to do this, though?
I am waiting for the. In which case, my status is I am waiting for Rylov to give me the signal to go on this.
Okay.
We've been ordered to leave, given the shuttle we have arrived on has disappeared, presumably stolen. by an unknown party.
Oh, that must be this thing, and I'll indicate the track of the object that left it.
From
Off
Ryla's
of
point of
social
view,
media.
Kovac simply points into empty air in the hologram, and then it's like his fingers drawing a line through the air, and a little dotted line starts tracing, and then you see a holographic representation of your of the Hypho prototype Alpha shuttle, and you see it in little speed indicators and relative vector and current power output.
Da Vinci can chase after it and get out of here.
Estimate its destination if possible. Or I can, I think. He's the pilot.
Momentum spend.
Insert. Give me a break, brain. Insight plus con difficulty of 3.
Yeah, that's a U roll.
Yeah. I was like, that's why there was the, estimate the, wait, I'm the pilot.
Yeah, do some complex astrophysical math in relation to the what? Sorry, I'll just do it.
Large quantum slipstream drives are technically new to me as well. Scout question mark as a trait.
I'll say no.
Yeah. I was like, I can see it, but I can also not see it.
Mhm.
Star Navy protocols tracking
Yeah.
property.
Mhm.
Diff 3. Okay, we'll give you 1 and 1. 2 and 1, 2 momentum, 1 threat. 1 and 1 does not work for that. Brain,
I was gonna
please
say.
stop lying to me. I'll take that. That's good.
Whoops.
Ooh.
Oop.
I didn't even need to buy anything. Apparently, I'd have just gotten 2s, but
But if you hadn't bought something, you'd have gotten like 6 complications off of 2 dice or something weird.
Yep.
You guys.
It's just heading back to fucking Halanak station. Like, oh, okay.
Where's the button? Hit the button. Where's the button? Change the channel. Don't change the channel. Stay on this channel. Please keep watching.
Do not touch that dial.
You're operating your Twitch or VOD thing through a dial. Kudos to you, whoever you are.
Tonight's episode brought to you by Arthurian MILFs. Yes, Arthurian
God's
MILFs.
almighty.
I don't even know if the start of that joke was even on air, so it makes no sense. But sure, we'll go
Doesn't
along
need to
with
make
it.
sense.
I hate all of you. Even the ones that didn't say nothing, you're just as guilty somehow. Called guilt by association.
I have associate.
That's not right. Thing? Fine, I'll just do it this way. No. You believe it's going to pass through the nebula in the Lambda, a nebula in the Lambda subsector. And from your protocols, you recognize that would be a way to shake off pursuers because you'd want to duck into a nebula real quick and then change vectors to somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably a stop point to probably either go possibly here if it's being super. If you're a Romulan, you would go, I hide, change direction, I hide, and change direction to go somewhere else. Everyone else would go, I hide, I change direction. Like they just do it the one time.
If you want to be really cheeky, I hide, I hide, I hide.
Uh-huh.
There I go. Anyway, yes, okay, that's good to know. At least we have something to go off of. Indeterminate Event has worked something out. He seems close, if I were to have any guess. What the next step is likely won't involve Starfleet personnel, though you are free to remain, and there might be something I can do to get you help. Or have help stay here. It's finicky, and it'll probably hurt, but, well, legally hurt, but I'm fine with that.
Sorry, muted.
Oh.
Let's see what Ven's up to then.
Very nod, turn back. What is the progress, Lieutenant?
I think I can do this, but I need the go-ahead.
Centurion,
Alright.
are we really trusting him with this?
There is little reason to not trust Lieutenant Ven carrying out his duties. However, we do have our duties as Starfleet officers to follow the captain's instructions. So that said, Ensign Mila, Ensign Kennett, make your way to where the shuttle was parked. Ensign Mila, I would appreciate you running a preliminary or cursory scan in the vicinity to see if you can pick up any traces of familiar or unfamiliar, familiar in terms of intelligent species, DNA, and unfamiliar in the sense of things that don't belong on this planet, to see if we can identify whomever might have stolen that shuttle. I will be out with you in a moment. Lieutenant Ven.
Yes, sir?
You are at present likely the only one who knows how to operate this thing, but also, I believe, going through some form of mental duress, unless I am mistaken, correct?
This is a lot.
So that being said, would you, at this current time, like to step down for a moment to take some due given rest? And Kovic, would you be mind, as a harmonizer, of course, and an allied representative, looking after the lieutenant while he is stepped down?
That's why I brought the medical kit.
Yeah, He looks at Rylov and says, yes, I think I might just be a little too, shaken to properly form.
Of course. Here's the engineering kit if you should need it, and Mila will go outside. You see the loophole I'm going for here, right?
Yep.
He's technically not serving Starfleet right now. So, And I can do that, I'm the XO.
Yeah.
I will 100% eat the ding for that if that comes to a ding.
It'll become a
What
ding.
did we do?
Ven's not serving Starfleet right now. He's
I'm on
mental
leave.
duress on leave. And very much making a due pace out with Ensign Neil.
Okay, once I get the word from them that they are clear, I am gonna this a go.
That will be once we do a scan of this landing pad just to see if we can identify species.
I'll let you do the pad
Centurion.
scan first. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Centurion, where's the lieutenant?
Presently on leave, thereby not on Starfleet duty, thereby free to remain with and under the care of Harmonizer Kovic, as he deems himself, as he deems appropriate for himself.
Okay, then.
Kenneth gives me a look like, right. Like, I just wanted to go on a cool away mission. This got a lot more complicated all of a sudden.
Right.
He gives Mila like
Right.
an eyebrow raised look and then says, well, you are the first officer. Handling the personnel and duty rotations of the ship are your responsibilities. So I suppose this is within your powers, sir, but there may be questions after the fact, especially if the other two go missing.
Questions and or consequences, yes, I am aware.
It's your career.
Might be ours too. You wanted us to do a scan, sir?
Yes.
Did you want me
If
to
we
do it,
can
or?
get anything. I believe Ensign Milo is the most appropriate one to do that.
Ah, yes.
As the scientist.
Can it gives like a comforting nod of like, I got you sort of thing. Although what that exactly means is entirely clear.
Can't even find Kenneth Sheep. Where did we put her?
She's an engineer? Question mark. I don't know where.
We called her an
She's an
operations
engineer.
officer.
Ah, that's what you did.
All right. If you roll, I will give you an assist. I don't think anyone's playing Mila because it was
because that was
Frolic
Frolic.
before.
Frolic's not here.
Gosh, I tell ya, last thing I expected for Ven's character arc was to discover off-brand TARDIS.
So that is what?
Hey, it's not bigger on the inside. It's the same size. I'm normal sci-fi. I'm hard sci-fi.
Uh-huh.
Thanks for sharing.
Reason, science, genetics, focus.
It's control security as you're shooting Ryloff. Because you're actually a traitor. No, I'm just kidding. Reason plus medicine, difficulty of 3.
Oh, medicine. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's understandable, but unfortunate.
But also, ew.
I mean, genetics as a focus still would apply, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So she has a focus. She has a 2, not a 1. We must use multiple disciplines to solve any problem. How's that for a value?
Mm-hmm. That would fire.
Been doing that all day.
I saw that and I was like, that is so appropriate. And I'll give you 1 and 1 for an extra die just to be safe on the matter.
1 and 1, you say? You want to try that again?
Yep.
Oh wait, yeah, it's for a second die. Never mind.
I got this right this time.
Well, I don't believe you anymore. Who trusts a Romulan? I don't. The supernova of Romulus was an inside job.
Oh no.
I mean, for all we know, he actually just killed the 2 of them and then told us that he was letting them stay behind.
Exactly. See.
Jeez.
Yes, I have a silence disruptor.
See, that's a very Romulan tech. I'll stop now. Gain 1 momentum. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, 1, yeah.
Yeah. I know what I'm doing. I did it right.
This time.
What? The people here were Romulans? Always have been.
All peoples are Romulan. Eventually. No,
It's the crab cycle.
yeah, it seems to be 2 humans. We're here.
Ah, fucker.
Advantage that there is enough of a pickup on what was left behind to actually identify.
Hell, you can. Yeah, I could say that. Yeah.
Oh, like one of them, maybe one of them had like a slight bleed. That there's a biopsy.
Yeah, like there was some reason,
biosample.
or like hair or something. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, hair wouldn't be hair because they need. No, they don't need environmental suits. They might have taken off their helmets once they realized the atmosphere was adjusted.
Cut their hand on the door of the shuttle getting in.
Yeah,
Any
you're able
number
to
of
do that.
reasons,
Yeah.
But now we have a direction that they've gone to, the fact that they're humans, and enough
Our
DNA
fleet shuttle
to
doors are
identify them.
Razor sharp.
It's a Cybertruck.
Anyway, we have a climb ahead of us, so let's get going. Thank you, Ensign Mila.
And while they're doing that communication, Vin's waiting to hear from Rylov.
Yep. He'll let you know as soon as they're past the reasonable pad.
Kovic will contact Sapentia. Kovic to Sapentia.
Sabenti here. Go ahead.
I think I'm about to go on a magic carpet ride, so if I'm 4.3 billion years late getting back to Halanak Station, just go ahead and turn yourself into Rulan to straighten out that whole murder charge, will you?
I certainly will.
All right. Wish me luck.
Sincerely.
Good luck.
Okie dokie.
Mind the speed bumps.
Yep. Intuitive stellar observer and top of class.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Dope. I am going to spend
Everything.
No. It's have to scroll back up. It's Control Con. I'm actually going to save the determination spend for to do a reroll. I am going to. Oh, hang on. I've got a couple things I'm gonna throw at this. Do I have astrophysics as a focus?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. To that end, Cochrane Medal of Excellence in Astrophysics.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, I don't have to spend that yet.
Comp is up to 3.
Okay, comp is up to 3. I'm sorry. I'm going to do the citation for conspicuous gallant. I am going to give you fulment of threat.
So,
But hang on, I have to roll 6 challenge dice first.
I'm taking them before you
Yep.
steal.
What's the roll?
2 of those you get back. I get 2 of those back. Claw 2 of those back.
Control Con's
Range.
current roll.
Oh, well, I'm not going to help you.
Yep. It's okay. This is okay. Stiff 2. Come on. Okay, hang on. I'm going to spend a determination. Hang on. And 1 hit from the thing. Cool. You know what?
Oh, never mind.
Hang on.
Hang on.
Nope, nothing. Nothing doing. No, you know what? Because I don't want to re-roll more dice with a complication range like that. I'm just gonna take the 2 momentum that I generate. Oh no. I can just spend a metal quash. Right, I have a metal that lets me quash.
Very good.
I'm sorry, I have so many metals and I forget. I haven't used them in ages, so I forget what they all do.
Everything starts whirring around you. The various holographic indicators start flickering around.
Kevin lights a cigarette. I mean, dipstick.
And they all power down to normal levels. There's no boom, there's no crash. It just kind of makes a lot of noise and then just slowly goes back to normal.
All right, Kovic will step back into the screen room here. What movie's playing now?
You recognize you're in the Upantar system. You see Halanak Station. This won't update, so it would take me too long to do it.
Right, yeah.
You're seeing the
So,
Upantar system over there.
When I was looking at it earlier, was there something indicating the structure's position on the map?
Thinking back on it, yeah. And actually looking at it again, you're like, oh, okay, you see where it is. You have to think about it to see it.
Right, because it's the one thing that stays the same.
Right.
Yep.
So, does it look like it's back on Upantar, or are we
You're back in the hole, because that's where it last was.
back in the hole? But okay. Hey, Vin, you did it. At least we're back spatially where we're supposed to be.
Uh-oh. Oh
But
no.
then these big red things, the ceiling's falling.
Let me guess, we're not when we're supposed to be.
As you're screaming, and then you're probably feeling relief, each of you feels a very firm hand on your shoulder. You're not supposed to be here. You go out unconscious.
Ah. Years of martial arts training, and that's how I got out?
Years of academy training wasted.
How long it took me to find a Romulan martial arts master? Jesus Christ.
Superstar.
Who are you? What do you think you are? Jesus Christ. Superstar.
So that'd be quite an
So,
impressive piloting role to actually QSD the shuttle out of there.
See, but that's the new way the series is going, Sariana. Yeah. It's the young pretty boy who's the doctor and a middle-aged man who's the companion. It makes perfect sense.
Look, that actually sounds like it'd be a really good dynamic.
you would
Right?
say that.
Yeah, no, I mean the biggest problem with Doctor Who is how stale it got. So like anything to swap it up, I guess.
Suddenly from nowhere it has a scarf twice as long as he's tall wrapped around him.
These jelly babies?
He's from the Tom Baker era.
So, yeah, the away team gets beamed up rather easily, because you guys set up all this stuff to make sure you could be beamed up. It takes a bit of a hike, but in time, Haifa, you're able to retrieve the away team.
Is the ship beamed up as well?
The ship beamed up as well, yes. That's what I...
Oh,
There's not
okay.
two of the ship now.
In that case, once we are beamed up, Winston Kenneth will file in her after-action report. She will just note the unusual choice from Centurion Rylov to abruptly and suddenly put the lieutenant on leave, and the fact that neither the lieutenant nor Kovuk came along, and just say that she does not understand or endorse the choices made by her Centurion.
That makes sense for Kenneth. That tracks. And now you know why people get dinged. Because your juniors tattle on you.
Once I'm told they're beamed up, I'll tell the transporter bay for them to all come to the bridge ASAP.
Well, at least you guys have the travel vector of the QSD.
Mm-hmm. Captain.
Commander looks around and says,
Captain, we have a sensor change. The starship that was in the gas giant has left sensors. I don't know where it is anymore.
all right, retool. It's no longer a priority. Work with Ensign Kenneth and Mila to find that shuttle.
Galactic
Aye, sir.
Goodwood Nebula is this destination at present. It's going to try and shake us.
Where's Vin?
Ven has been relieved of duties due to mental stress, and the harmonizer has offered to look after him in the facility. Which...
Haifa will hit her comm badge and go, Commander Haifa to Lieutenant Vin.
No response.
Haifa just slowly turns the chair centered and says, all right, Centurion, take us to Yellow Alert.
Yellow alert, aye.
Shields up, yellow alert, and the lights turn on, the shields power up.
And I'll turn back and say, Mila, Kenneth, the vector on that shuttle yesterday.
Kenneth will say, sir, yes, sir. Oh, I can't move the token. Push, I
here.
assume this is the ship operations seat. She'll sit down and she'll do the scan.
Here, I'll give it to you. There, you should be able to move it now.
And Rylov assists by
Well, operations is here because that's where
Okay.
Kenneth was sitting the whole episode last week.
Okay.
You guys really need to get her a picture. she's generic.
Extra.
I
was going to, but the token thing didn't work. I'll do it after this episode.
That's cool.
All right. What's the roll to make the scan?
Reason plus science or con difficulty. It would be 3, but Rylov gives some information that narrows it down. So diff 2, assisted by sensors plus science or con, whichever one you're using.
He's in science. Focus in ship operations.
Yeah.
All right. 1 momentum and 2 threat.
Good golly.
And good golly, does she want a promotion? She knows that Ven's missing, and she wants to fill that spot because
As a science officer? Oh. That's a
she's
job
got
change.
science for and engineering for. Operations got to do both.
5 momentum generated by the look of her. Plus the ship.
Jeez.
This would be sensors science. Get an additional 1. After calibrating for extreme range sensors and looking for even the slightest twinkle of anomaly, because you're looking for something that's moving at slipstream speeds. It's intensely fast and likely out of your normal sensor range, but you're able to just barely pick it up.
Well, the hold is weak, sir, but I'm maintaining lock. What do you need to know?
Transfer the information to Khan. And then...
Oh, and we're in like new scenes and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can I spend 2 to create? Can I spend 2 to create the advantage that Khan has a stable lock on them to make it easier for Khan to follow?
Certainly. Certainly. Sorry.
Oh, thank God my stress resets. I was down to 1.
I almost instant
And
get
then,
whoops.
she spins around in the chair to face Haifa and says, we're locked on them like a bear trap. They're not getting out.
They are heading to a nebula. They will attempt to shake us and likely hide again or proceed to their next destination.
Instant CLAC engage.
Alright. Oh, someone's controlling CLAC, not me. Fortunately, they chose the wrong nebula to go to. Oh, no. Let's say they're very good at evading.
We are looking at 2 human suspects. We have enough to run them through a Federation database and try to identify them.
Begin. You might be able to get that before we catch them.
Control Con, difficulty 2, now diff 1, sorry. Ascension's Con. Because unfortunately they're going to a class 1 nebula, which is actually not very helpful for hunting.
Is anyone playing CLAC at the moment?
Should be Kovac or Van since they're not in the scene currently. Assuming either of them are here instead of...
Who needs a roll?
Not Kovic. CLAC.
Black. Okay.
She really likes bread.
Engine control con diff 2. Control con.
That's why Mr. Beast takes notes after me. I'm the one who made him who he is with all my good jokes.
Literally.
So yeah, take a momentum for a 3rd die and cautious.
Good golly, everyone's freaking trying to show off to the commander, apparently.
I can only make so many lieutenants in one episode.
Mila's not worried about showing off. She's footless and fancy free.
Well, I wouldn't give elevated position to that footless weirdo anyways.
Oh, God. Oh,
Should I
God.
ding you for that? I feel like I should ding you for that.
Okay, hold on.
Andy?
Not the opinion of any commanders that may be present. This is a Winchester opinion.
Well, I feel like I should ding your character just because.
No.
Well, if you roll Engine's Con, I'll forgive you. If someone beats you to it, you're getting dinged. I guess you're getting dinged. Oh wait, that's you. Damn.
That is. Yeah.
I have 1 float. As you are, are you slipstreaming after them, or can you actually?
Yep.
Because I thought you slipstreamed here.
Did we?
From Halanak to here. I think you punched it at slipstream speed rather than warp.
Yeah, that was the only way we could beat the other ships, I think.
Okay, then yeah, we did.
So you go as fast as of warp as possible. Basically, you're chasing their trail as fast as you can until your slipstream resets, basically.
Oh.
But you are at this warp because of the rule. The target is considered. You're keeping it barely within sensor range, and the lock is there. Float's still here, so I'll let you use that with this new information. They are currently at extreme +2, so that's their range relative to you. Like you can barely detect where they are.
Is it close enough to get a signal to?
Subspace moves at subspace speed, so in theory.
Well, the thought is it's a Federation vessel, and the people aboard definitely don't have the codes that we do to transmit to and remotely close it out, because it is uniquely one of our vessels.
Yeah, I might try that because I don't know how generous you plan on being, but we can't catch them. It would. We had less than 5 hours in system. We need another 7 to recharge. They can be almost anywhere in the galaxy in that time.
Yeah. So you basically this roll gave you just enough time to do one thing to them at this extreme range.
Which sounds like the signal plan is probably our best bet then. Yes?
Yep.
Which we don't even need to hack in, we have the appropriate codes. They're flying southward, there shouldn't be anything down there. Unless there's like the advantage of there just happens to be ex-Federation or even better allied, like Klingon vessel down there that we can relay the signal through, so it's a stronger one. But
for 2 momentum, there could be some random free trader bouncing around out there, or some Klingon ship that was doing a exercise like, hi.
Yeah,
sure.
just so that the distance is less between us and that vessel. There we go. That sounds good to me.
So then, yeah, I'm gonna try to issue commands to the shuttle over subspace.
Honestly, even if we can just shut down the USD drive, and that's the only thing we can lock out for sure, that's enough.
Control plus engineering or command, difficulty 4, assisted by comms plus relevant department. The increased difficulty is the fact that you're trying to talk to something. Oh, you brought it down by 1. Sorry, so that's not diff 4. That's not diff 3. The increased difficulty is just due to the fact that it's moving. It is moving it's just barely there, so you kind of have to attenuate for that weaker signal and make sure you don't miss. If you take to fire a subspace message and have it go off by so many degrees to the left or right or up or down, because if you do that, it will outpace the signal, basically.
Mm-hmm. So none of the difficulty comes from issuing the command?
No.
Okay.
Because it is your shuttle. You guys have it right. It's like, yeah, you know what the prefix code is, so unless they know what that is, they can't really... It's a matter of you talking to your shuttle.
All right.
Lead I assist is your ship? Or...
Yeah, I got it.
Rolls all 20s.
No, bro, I can't assist that.
Because of the time crunch, calm under pressure.
Yeah. Get it? Time crunch? Because of that... Never mind.
Uh-huh.
Can I, spending 2, can I argue for another advantage that as the ship's designer, now that Rylov has given me has given me a vector, and I have accurate knowledge of the exact specs of the engine, that it's much easier to calculate where it will be in the future to have the signal intercept correctly.
I'll take that, yeah.
And then I'll spend 3 for extra dice.
Dare you. On the nose so far with the comp. Comms engineering.
Oh, the focus on that was QSD.
Yeah.
And did you want the assist?
Yep. Kind of need it.
That is true. Look at that. And then there's the ship.
Good so far. And another one.
Which we will use to quash.
Washed. What do you tell the
So-
shuttle to do?
If they dropped dead in space, could I be to them within 30 minutes?
It would take a bit more time because it is quite. Well, no. You get there within 30 minutes to an hour, yeah.
Well,
Take-
it would. Yeah, I'm thinking of activating emergency life support, so I would want to be confident in that or discount the idea altogether.
Also,
it's currently nebulous at this point,
Okay.
so to speak.
Then I will order it to terminate jump, reprogram jump to just in front of us, and then shut down all systems except for emergency life support.
It follows the commands, and you get report from sensors that the shuttle has reappeared in front of you because it takes like a few seconds for it to come back.
All right. Start tractoring it. And Centurion, you have the bridge. I'm going to what does the security team cost?
1-in-1. Or a crew support.
Oh, and was there a role to run the DNA through the system and get an ID on the people?
There would be a role
Just
for that,
something
you know.
Yeah, just something to hand to Haifa while he's leaving. So he's kind of got a, hey, I know who you are already card to pull, if that makes sense.
Click's
Okay.
100% coming with. He worked way too hard on that shuttle with you.
What crew support are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, we've only used 3 so far. Okay, sure. I'll say Sarai can you're with me, and Click can meet me there.
He'll grab his engineering kit.
Oh, Click's an officer now, so and chief engineer, so you can also bring it tight to you. Remember.
Very good. Click's always had a type 2.
What even are...
And I'm going to dramatically say, as I'm getting in the turbolift, and just before it closes, I'll look at Rylov and say, "No unauthorized leave," as the turbolift door shuts.
Totally authorized.
Determination to the objective of discovering the nature of this system. Clearly, these seem to be. We want to identify if these are criminal elements that are using the system as its some kind of staging ground or way through for smuggling. Smiley face.
You could, yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, I could use that as a justification, right? Makes sense in my head.
Who cares what's in your head? My head's the important one.
Yeah. Oh, threat. Does that make it better?
Yes.
Okay.
Threat, it makes everything better. I mean,
yeah. So that +1. So we actually gain a momentum, but congratulations, you have the identities of these people that was handed to Haifa just as he was passing Rylov.
that's the ship.
Oh, and the ship too. Yes. Where is the ship?
Okay.
Computers. Medicine. Button. There we go. Computer's full. I mean, I was a 19, so it almost comped, but it didn't. It thought about it.
Don't worry, I got you.
Oh, you already rolled it. Never mind. We pressed it at the same time, I think. Maybe. 7. So 2 momentum gains, actually. Look at that.
Why is it? Oh, it's false because you clicked it as I did.
Yeah.
You
I think we
unclicked
pressed
medicine.
the button at the same time.
Here you go.
All right.
Question is, can I also see this having looked it up? Because I'm curious.
Yeah, sure. Why not? I mean, your character might not be familiar with these people, but you know,
No.
the computer will tell you. It'll have like a little blurb about them and stuff.
William Shakespeare and Arthur Conan Doyle. What?
Yeah, I was gonna say, is Haifa familiar with them instead?
Click is. He's
Click is.
a rabid
Oh.
fanatic of ancient
You
Earth
know-
literature.
You know who else is apparently a fan of the works of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle? Admiral Brennan.
No, he absolutely does not know who those are. But if the note pops up that they're dead, that's like a what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you called down a security team as well. So
No, I did not.
you did not. Okay, sorry.
He considered it.
So the four of you approach the Haifa prototype Alpha, which is currently secured in place by the internal tractor system because it's holding it down in case some genius decides to lift off.
I'll walk up to a console in the landing bay and actuate the door on the shuttle. And I will say, would anyone in the shuttle please exit the shuttle?
No response.
I say, all right.
Laser grenade.
No.
Full
Lieutenant
spread.
Click. Lieutenant Click, take Ensign Sarai and examine the inside of the shuttle. No unauthorized weapons discharges.
Click will draw his phaser and kind of jerk his head at Sarai and scuttle rapidly up the into the shuttle and flipping over to get on the ceiling.
He is a scuttler.
The two of you rush inside.
Pirate! Thieves!
There's no one there. At least no one you see.
Reveal yourselves, or I'll do terrible things to you.
Present security difficulty too.
I've got a 50-50 shot at these guys.
It's very enthusiastic.
True. Trait of Zindi Insectoid, because that's kind of scary.
What do you mean? It's a cute insect. Insects are nice.
Click is not.
Well, Click is not, but insectoids in general can be nice.
He's like a praying mantis, for God's sakes.
Some people like praying mantises. I'm saying it doesn't have any effect here. Although I do agree with you, some people would be freaked out by that.
Okay, that's fine.
I mean, I would.
You said difficulty 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's more creepy to me is that you're probably doing the chittering noise, and then the translator has to translate the chittering into something that person can understand.
Right.
I always imagine sectors have a sort of lag time. It's like, well, hold on, it's not. Their vocal cords don't work the exact same way.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Tell you what.
I think Clink's going to spend his determination to protect the hive.
Sure.
And then give you a threat and a momentum for the third die.
Oh god. No, I got it. I almost threw it off into the ether.
Small arms for a focus on the argument that he's obviously knows what he's doing with a phaser.
Obviously?
small
At a
arms.
complication, sure.
Okay, I'll skip the complications.
What about if you consider that he has small arms as well?
He's not a Tyrannosaurus Rex. As a mantoid, he's actually got quite long arms.
Uh-huh. That's what he tells his mate. I understand. It's okay.
Yeah, it's more delicate and graceful than Rylov's.
A lot of things are more delicate and
So that's 4 with a comp. Pretty sure there's nothing he can do about the comp.
well, he generated
he
2.
gained 2, so yeah, he can quash it.
Yep. You menace the room and whatever is hiding in there. There is no response.
Captain, it appears that whoever absconded with the shuttle has now absconded with themselves.
Have you scanned the shuttle?
Engineer, not a scientist. So yes, he will now scan the shuttle.
For what?
Life signs.
Reason, menace, and difficulty 2.
Reason medicine, yes. He's even less of a doctor than he is a scientist. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Well, I tell you what. There's no real place for like people to hide in this shuttle, like not squishy human-sized people.
No.
So maybe instead of scanning for life signs, I'm going to scan for energy and radiation signatures that shouldn't be there.
Reason engineering, DOF 2.
Very good. That's the kind of DOF I like right there. Okay, so take a threat for bold engineering. What do we got? I'll fish. Ah, gain 1.
You detect no signals that should not be within the shuttle or part of the shuttle.
I detect no unusual signals or radiation within the shuttle, sir. There is no one here. I can, of course, disassemble the shuttle to be sure.
One step at a time. I'll go over to a console and I am going to put the ship on complete lockdown and order security teams starting here to go deck by deck looking for intruders. I expect this may take a day or 2.
Control plus security, difficulty of 3. assisted by communication plus security. As you're coordinating the security teams to help find who you're looking for. And double check that you're not like passing over things. Look for weird anomalies, that sort of thing.
All right. Focus in Starfleet Protocol.
Yeah.
Project manager, because this is going to take many teams, lots of time.
I would say so.
So just bring down the diff.
It's Doff now. We now speak insectoid.
Yeah, that's Cindy for difficulty. Just like full on is Klingon for float.
Welcome to the stream full of lots of screeching and clicking noises. For some reason, we get more followers.
Hashtag facts.
I mean, what is streaming but a bunch of screeching and twittering?
Exactly. She's not wrong.
All right.
No, that is accurate.
A thorough and in-depth search of the Da Vinci A is underway. And it does take some time, you're right. And I can tell you, as the scene closes, that whoever they were, they aren't on your ship anymore.
See, now if they can pull disappearing acts like that, you can't be that mad that they stole the shuttle in the first place.
Why? If they can do disappearing acts like that, they shouldn't need the shuttle.
That's also fair.
How do I use that?
I mean, to be fair, William Shakespeare shouldn't be around to steal a fucking shuttle.
Something tells me
that's
he
a freaking
wasn't.
lie.
You mean that's a lie?
No, that's a line.
Oh, yes.
Like, that's a line that a writer was paid to write.
Hey, if they can bring Lincoln into things. Shakespeare into things.
I wish I was paid to write that line. That'd be great.
Star Trek Lincoln thing is just one of the funniest things. Just will never not be funny to me.
Oh, thank goodness. I thought for a second it was just going to be Vin.
It's like, yeah, they didn't need Kovic, actually, once they realized he didn't know anything, so they just airlocked him already.
Yeah.
Fair.
Direct message, make new character. I killed Kovic. Sorry. Sad
On the
face.
side, off camera.
Why do I keep losing players?
We didn't want to hire his actor anymore, I'm sorry.
Yeah, the two of you awake off the floor of a jungle scene. For Ven, you've been here before.
This seemed like Upantar.
Insight
Sure.
Con, difficulty of 2.
Is there a teeny tiny red star in the sky?
There is, but that doesn't mean you're on Upantar.
Fair enough. It's what con?
Insight Con, difficulty 2.
Ugh.
Although I will remind you, you do have quick survey.
Ah, yes. Thanks. Yes, I'll do quick survey. The hell am I?
Yeah, this is
Is
Upantar.
Upantar?
This is one of the jungles of it.
Well, the good news is we're on Upantar. The bad news is we're in the middle of a jungle on Upantar. And Upantar has a lot of jungles. Kovic will try to use his QSD to call Halanak. And then somebody... Oh, there are 2
Communicator,
people.
not the jump drive.
Yeah, sorry. 4 people.
As you try to activate your QSD, it gives an error message.
I'll put that up and settle into kind of a combat crouch. Heads up, Vin. We may have trouble.
He puts his hand towards his phaser, but doesn't draw.
Four hooded figures step forth out of the tree line, out of the jungle.
I'm Harmonizer Kovic of the Harmony Enforcement Division. We would appreciate your help getting us to the nearest port or facility.
They all look at each other. They look at you too.
Oh no.
Well, we'll just be on our way then, I guess.
Name the
fun.
maxims, Amisven.
Oh, boy. Ven looks around at all of them. Oh, Omega Point, Singularity, Post-Civilizational, Aquarius,
They look,
GL33, all things are possible?
they look to each other.
Out of the side of his mouth, Kovic goes, "You're just making stuff up now, aren't you?" And lights a dope stick.
For what selfish reason have you reshaped the fabric of the universe, Omnis?
Again?
So many countless billions. Their lives changed forever. All on your whim? Who made you, God? Who made you the master of space and time?
I mean, to be fair, the controls are right there. The kid just figured them out. And as far as that goes, we were just returning something back to where it came from.
Perhaps he's like his father, a narcissist. Yes,
Ven-
we might have to
Ven-
destroy him.
Ven clenches his fist.
You even involved a leveler. How dare you? How irresponsible of you. Did your father teach you nothing?
No, he didn't. All I have are these weird feelings every once in a while. Just the words. That's all I'm ever given. Just words. No real answers. Everybody always leaves me in the dark and then is surprised when I only managed to survive by bumbling my way through it.
Open your mind, Omnisven, and reveal who you really are to us. Or we'll make you tell us. There's no need to be hostile, says one of them. The others kind of look at that one who just gives a hands of like, really?
But which me do you want? The one that spent his entire life in this reality, or
The one standing
me?
before us now.
Takes a deep breath. Fine. And then opens.
You feel various presences rooting around in your head.
Ugh.
Kovic, from your perspective, you actually see Ven visibly twitching from the overload. He's not a narcissist. Great.
Yeah, so why don't you get out of the kid's head now? Who the hell? You asked him who made him God. Who the hell made you judge, jury, and mental executioner?
He has a point, says one of them. The other three look at that one like, would you stop? And that one shrugs. And the others pull out of Ven's mind.
And he just sort of collapses to like his hands and knees.
It kind of like is standing over him and puts one hand on his shoulder and squeezes.
You are from this place, Harmonizer Kovic?
Well, not originally, but yeah. I'm an Iosian. What's it to you?
Do you believe you can confidently speak on behalf of the Upantari of this world?
Well, it is kind of a job at times. What do you want?
There are two choices we are left with at the moment. Given the actions of those before you. They can know the truth of what's happened here as best as we can explain it to them. If we do that, they will lose Aquarius, the facility you're within. Or you are made to forget, and this place never was. It'll simply be a science expedition involving a shuttle theft. One looks at the others, and that one holds up hands like, I had to get away, sort of look. Just shakes his head.
So what happens to Upantar if they lose this Aquarius thingy?
This planet is too far away from the star. The atmosphere will relent, and this planet will freeze. They will be forced to leave. They will have time. This won't decay immediately, but the star cannot support this planet. It's too small, too dim, and this planet far too away. It is too far away. Apologies. My translator's struggling a little with your translator.
Look, this thingamajig's been on Upantar for ever. Why does it have to go away?
Because if they know, then they all want to experiment. Aquarius is beyond them. They can destroy themselves and everyone within their local space-time. But if they know about it, we admit that we failed and we didn't protect them. We all are suffering by the sins of his father. So we have to do what we can. Ethically, it is only right that you're allowed the choice. If you know of the thing, then we must get rid of it. But if you're made to forget the thing, then we can leave it, and no one knows it was here.
I have a question. In listening to these individuals talk, do I recognize any of voices of any of them as Uncle William or Uncle Arthur?
Insight, Commander Khan, difficulty 2.
It's all the same for me. I'll spend a momentum in this, sure.
That's what the quick survey question should have been. No.
Are you William Shakespeare?
Hey, I generated.
Skip Marlowe has your ass. You never wrote anything as good as Dr. Faustus. Even Tamerlane was better than Twelfth Night. Jackass.
Jeez. Right.
That's right. I can do 17th century beef.
All I'm saying is none of them compare to the OG Chaucer.
Don't get Chaucer involved. He's kind of full of himself.
But neither of those people are from the 17th century.
Time is relative.
1600s.
Is it a yes? A no?
Look on the board.
Oh. I'm sorry. I missed that. I was waiting for a minute. Ben looks around. Uncle William?
Ah,
Uncle Arthur?
and you got some strange relatives.
The Vens are very perceptive, aren't they? It's a good thing we brought you two here. You've really made this not a complicated situation. Thank you. Don't need that.
Okay, who are you people?
I'm gonna guess hyperdimensional beings of some kind.
Nothing quite so grandiose, no?
Oh, well. I'm hanging out with the lower classes, I guess.
Keepers of Aquarius?
Say that again, sorry.
Keepers of Aquarius?
The intergems? The enneagrams?
We are... Arthur speaks up. We are inheritors, and young Ven here is, by blood, an inheritor. We are not hyperdimensional or hyperspatial, but we are highly technological and able to traverse time, long spans of time. Unfortunately, you two have been brought into the aftermath of a rather stupid mistake that someone did, and we're trying to undo it. We've been trying to undo it for some time, believe it or not.
4.5 billion years of time, if I had to guess.
In a manner of speaking, but we'd really be telling them all this? Either they're going to know everything, or we're going to make them forget everything I just said, so it doesn't matter, does it? I suppose not, no? Right.
But there's a problem. There's a problem. If you make us forget, there's a problem with the option. If you make us forget, it's quite probable that I'm just gonna find it out again. I've done it once before, and with everything that I've encountered, there's some weird dimensional stuff going on with me, and let's just say Starfleet has a history of having our memories erased to avoid something, only to follow the clues back to following the clues and the gaps back to where it began, and then we're just in the same predicament.
Starfleet is rather good at deducing the gaps in everything. A gap of information is an invitation to questioning. You think a lot of the Starfleet, well, it's not just Starfleet, most Federation civilizations tend to favor such things. Even these Iosians are actually better at it than most humans are.
So your theory is that if the Upantari and the FIS know about this and have the opportunity to study it, that they'll blow themselves up or destroy themselves. I know it's a little bit more than, even a nuke. That's what you're saying. That's your fear, that if they study this, they'll screw it up and blow themselves up.
Much like if you hand a warp drive to a pre-warp civilization and hope they understand warp dynamics and antimatter containment.
Sure, fair enough. But have you ever considered you're not giving them or yourselves enough credit? Look, I've seen a lot of different species and a lot of different polities and a lot of different policies in this galaxy. The FIS is something a little different. They take their research really seriously. They take the sharing of information really seriously. They take experts really seriously. Who's to say if you didn't let them know about it, tell them everything about it, tell them how dangerous it is, maybe even have these two yahoos who seem to have had something to do with all this mess stick around and work with them, that in a few thousand years, through diligent study and careful examination, that they might not be the exact people who should have mastery of this, or who should be passed on to the guardianship, and you guys can go, I don't know, take a vacation on Risa or something.
Command difficulty 4.
You know, if any planet is going to be nice in 4,000 years, it would be Risa.
Okay. So let's see what's going to work for me and what's going to work against me.
Can I assist with this?
You certainly can.
So I'm thinking intuitive might work for me, but cynic might work against me.
I would say that, yeah.
Yeah, there'd be a wash there. Okay. So,
Sorry, Haifa, were you saying something there?
No, I didn't say anything.
Oh, thought someone was saying something. And I was like, oops.
let's see.
My bad.
Trying to convince them to do something. One of my values quite.
It's called your mass driver. Get them all.
Yeah. Mass shotgun. Blam, blam, blam.
Do any of your do any of our mission directives come in?
You can look. I don't think so, though.
Yeah.
I think they're I think I did pin them. I did, yes.
I mean, in theory, I could lead this, and I might have a value that'll do the job.
I mean, if it matters, from my intention, this would fall under discover the nature of this system.
Oh yeah.
Because this is all tied up in why things were happening, why this Aquarius or whatever, why the facility was there.
Well,
Yeah.
and yeah, I think I could
discover the
also
nature of the system was the argument I'd make too.
I could also just put it down to, I mean, what Kovic is trying to do here is to protect and preserve the FIS.
Yeah.
So I think I could call that as well. Would you allow that, GM?
I would.
Okay. So yeah, I'll spin toward that harmonizing directive.
Harmonizing director.
Oops, that shouldn't stay there anymore.
So,
Ow. Oh, God.
then I
I'm
will
good,
give
I'm good.
you two momentum and 3 threat for the other 4 dice.
2 momentum, you say, and 3 threat.
Yeah, for a total of 4 dice plus the determination.
Yeah. 2.
Ha ha! Here we go, kids.
Oh no.
All right, let's see what we can dig out here.
God.
What can I spend to reroll those die? Okay, I'll toss this at you first. Sometimes you have to shake the tree to see what falls down. Just oh wait, no, I've got to burn something. Duh. Blech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's holding
do-
you
do ha-
back?
Well,
Tell
the
me
question is, do you have any milestones?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at now.
You could also challenge a directive.
Yeah.
I would say challenge Prime Directive, but that doesn't apply to Kovic. Kovic is that's a Starfleet
Right.
rule, not a Federation rule.
I will right back.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna say what's holding me back here is that. Okay.
You smoke too much?
No. This is not something that Kovic can solve in his usual direct kind of way. So I will challenge some people look better with a black eye.
Yeah. I would say that your, socket to him sort of attitude is like, no, I need to chill for a second.
Right.
So that is challenged and stricken.
Okay, so I've got 3 hits. I will spend it towards
Sorry.
Everybody has a tell, maybe, because I'm about to lose him, but oh no! God,
Sure.
yeah. Hold on, I've got a spill to clean up because I love cats. I love my cats. I love my cats. I love my cats.
He reminds himself fervently.
Dude, go away. All right. Yeah. Let's re-roll 3. Okay. However, got 3 on the first roll. There's 5, and then I will use the metal to quash the comp. Yeah, the FIS League of Harmony. So got 5 on a 4.
Mr. Kovic, right?
Sure.
Oh, feel free to correct me. I'd hate to address you incorrectly. But,
It's fine.
understand that we can allow for this. And the others kind of look at him like completely thrown that he's agreeing to this at all. William looks like he's going to say something, and then Arthur just kind of waves his hand at him. Something unspoken is said, but there's obviously some conversation going. Then Arthur continues and says, "But I would advise you that we 4 cannot remain. I will leave it to the 2 of you and to those of the, I believe it's called the Da Vinci, which he needs anything else named after him. It's named after a place, technically, but no matter. Anyway, you can warn them of this thing. You can impress upon them repeatedly, urgently, fervently, to be intensely careful. They are careful. Perhaps they will figure it out. But we can't remain. The more our interaction is usually avoided. Inheritors don't interact with non-inheritors. It is dangerous, and frankly, we're lucky we haven't hurt anyone. Although I believe we did anger a Starfleet captain by stealing a shuttle. Feel free to extend our apologies. We're pretty sure they were able to get it back.
Why did you have to steal a shuttle if you're these powerful timey-wimey people?
Because somebody forgot to bring backup batteries for our systems. So, We were without solar light for an extended period of time, and were unable, so we had to get to somewhere where a sun was.
You're solar powered.
Ours are, yes, because someone's father surprised us. And William over there, I was going to say it, William just like, hey, what the hell? So William there said he brought them. He forgot. Because he was too busy giving someone a gift.
So what does that mean for me then?
I think I may be more comfortable with this stuff in the hands of the Upantari.
Arthur kind of nods a little bit, like a little exasperated. As for you on this, your father is right. Much as William there would like you to go on grand adventures across the span of time and space. I'm not here to tell him how to raise his child. I'm not here to boss you into a path that you didn't choose. If you want to embrace your heritage as an inheritor, you can. You simply think of me, call out to me, and I will come to get you. If you wish to live out your level life, Starfleet, and the exploration of space in a more conventional sense, no one's going to stop you. Though I would advise you to stop meddling with the fabric of the universe at all possible. You've angered quite a few people, and but I've deduced that you are, as you say, bumbling through things. It's one thing for you to knock over an entire China cabinet with menace. It's a whole other thing if someone shoves you into it.
Right. So, should I stay away from this thing then? Aquarius?
I would, unless you want to embrace your heritage, I would advise that. If you're ordered to, then you're ordered to. But be wary of the things you'll learn. Because what the Upantari are going to learn, hopefully, and what the FIS are going to learn, will transform them forever. But for you, you may be called upon and asked to answer. And when if that happens, you won't get to say no. I can't control what others demand of you. I certainly, apparently, can't control what your father has done. I urge you not to mimic his path.
I don't even know where he is.
I believe the choice is made then, gentlemen.
Ben nods.
Yavik nods as well.
By the way, you should stop smoking. It's bad for you, says Arthur.
These things are a little different than they were in your day.
They vanish. This is Halanak Station. Harmon Zerkovic, are you there?
Ah, yes, Halanak. Lieutenant Vin and I need a pickup. If you could direct us to the nearest clearing where a shuttlecraft could come and take us down, take us up.
Certainly.
And put me through to the presiding speaker's office. I've got some news.
Stand by.
And
And you see
I'll
a
try
sort of
to-
standby amber light kind of flickering as they're trying to get to him.
And I'll try to arrange an urgent appointment with the presiding speaker. Then I'll want you in on that meeting at least.
Ben just sort of sits down on a log. Same log he sat down on 10 years before.
Unlikely, but yeah, I get what you mean.
You should keep
Or
one.
rock. Rock,
keep-
fine.
You should keep one thing in mind, Lieutenant. Despite what anyone will tell you and what the universe sometimes appears to demand, we're not our fathers. At least, we never have to be.
We close out the scene there as we flip back to the Da Vinci. So a considerable amount of time has passed by this point, as the ship is basically searched in force and with thoroughness. But it is, you are told, perhaps to your satisfaction, or perhaps not, but you're told that as far as security is concerned, they are not anywhere on the ship. They've searched every which way they can, short of pulling the ship apart. They can't find whoever. If they are on the ship, they're not here.
Okay.
Though they are kind of, until you tell them otherwise, they're kind of on like a sort of standing intruder alert, yellow alert sort of thing, where it's like, we're going to just kind of hang around in some hallways just in case they pop out of a wall or jump out of a holodeck or something weird.
I'll allow the chief of security to take measures that he feels is appropriate. Centurion Rylov, did the other ships appear in system? Or attempt to communicate it with us?
Good question.
You check with sensor operations, and they show no contacts. It's been several hours. They should have arrived by now.
Are they still on scope headed here?
Does not appear so. As best it can be made out.
Very well. Was Ensign Kinnett's performance on the away mission satisfactory?
He
Century?
listened, which he had to. He had much to say.
All right. Then, Ensign Kinnett, if you will take the con, I want a full survey of Lieutenant Vin's last known location, updates on the hour.
Sir, yes, sir.
Centurion Rylov, if you want to join me in the ready room.
Yes, Captain.
All right, team. The captain is expecting results. Let's get those scans started.
Give me, before the ready room scene, presence command, difficulty 2, assisted by comms command. If the good Ensign Kennett gets the bridge in order.
Can I assist because everybody saw me give her this order after asking that if she was competent by the
Certainly
first officer?
The way her stats are built, she is rolling a 9 right now, but it's fine. Presence command diff 2, not gonna have a focus. 1 momentum, 2 threat. She doesn't even have a value to reroll anything, so I think that's that.
You have
you get comms command from the ship? Because there may be like other assistants in the department that can
I think that you might have a directive for this. I don't know if it technically applies, but it might.
I mean, argue, on the directive, this is what we're supposed to be doing.
Which directive?
survey the system. Wasn't that one of them? Hold on. let me-
No. It's the one that I think would be relevant to you is provide learning opportunities to junior officers.
Yes, that one.
I would take that, yeah.
There we go.
Generate 1 so far. Let's ship. There are like regular command staff that might try to help out the ensign if she's at a loss. Like, what's the thing again? It's this. Okay, thanks.
Nope, she had to do it all on her own.
But yeah, Ensign Kenneth is able to organize the bridge and is able to begin the survey of the planet, continuing running survey of the planet to look for the wayward lieutenant. And the bridge falls into line. This actually, given Ensign Kenneth is a ops officer, this is probably the first time she's been in a command position, because back in the academy she wouldn't have been in the command chair because that's not her. That wasn't her line. So this is her first command post, as it were, even temporary. She seems to have put herself rather nicely. Who said optional courses aren't useful? To the ready room we look.
Yeah, the captain will say, I wanted to catch up on what happened on the planet. I didn't get a full brief because we had a secondary issue.
Indeed.
So after your last report, I understand that Kovic was going to attempt to learn more on his own.
I made the observation that Kovic was not under Starfleet command and was here accompanying us, but could not be compelled to leave if he did not wish to.
No, which I agreed to. Yeah. So
Yes.
So he planned. Y'all planned for him to just stay and take notes.
No. I'm not entirely certain as to... Well, I'm fairly confident, actually, as to what their goal would be, given the Harmonizer had mentioned several times in returning this construct to Upantar, and we were in a control room that seemed suitable for doing such a thing.
Haifa will lean over and touch a button on the desk and say, Haifa to Ensign Canet.
Kenneth here.
Ensign, have comms check in with Halanak Station if they've had any contact in the last 5 hours with either Harmonizer Kovic or Lieutenant Vin.
Yes, sir.
And then I'll let go of the button.
And we swing over to Kenneth.
All right. Yeah, it's an operations job, I believe. So I'll just walk over to the operations chair and standing up, punch in communications with Halanak Station.
Easily done. And Kenneth hears the familiar ping of the connection with Halanak Station's subspace transceiver. Halanak Station, subspace channel 256. How can I help you? Oh, Da Vinci, hello.
Yes. Hello. This is Ensign Chelsea Kennett, currently serving in command of USS Da Vinci. I have been requested to investigate have you received any communiques from either the Ensign Ven or the Harmonizer Kovic in the past 5 hours, or rather since the Da Vinci departed? We are attempting to ascertain their location. They are missing.
Oh, yes, actually, we got a transmission about 10 minutes ago, from Harmon Zarkovic on the surface requesting a shuttlecraft to pick him up, along with a Lieutenant Ven. We were kind of confused up here because our understanding was they were with you, so we did verify that they were actually who they say they are, just in case. But yeah, we were a little confused, so they are here. Well, they're down there, but we'll have them up shortly.
And it like mumbles under her breath, timey-wimey bullcrap, and says, "No, thank you. That's what I wanted to confirm. Do not worry. They found an alternative means of transportation home. Thank you."
You're welcome.
And she got stuck calm. And then she'll tap her communique and say, "Don't worry, Captain. I have just spoken to Halanak Station. They are currently safely on Upantar and are awaiting transit back home to the station."
Very well, Ensign. New orders. Cancel the low orbit search pattern for her Vin. Take us to a high orbit and inform these. Okay, you can't inform my chief science officer. Inform Ensign Mila to organize the science department to do a cardinal survey of the planet. They have at least a day. I might be able to give them more.
"Yes, sir." And she'll close the comm, step forward, say, "Con, take us to high orbit science. Belay orders to scan for Ven. New orders are to perform a routine investigation of the planet, routine survey of the planet. We have 24 hours, perhaps more."
The camera swings back to the ready room as the ship moves into its new orbit and new orders.
I'll say, so how did they get back?
The facility seems capable, through a means that I am not familiar with, of transporting itself.
Is this speculation, or did you actually see some controls while you were down there?
We were in the main control room to make such a thing happen.
So
the facility itself was capable of adjusting to thoughts, seemingly, and Lieutenant Ven's thoughts, both fabricating a landing pad for the shuttle, pathways through, actually more than just Lieutenant Ven. It reacted to Mila, and presumably all of us would have been able to. The atmosphere changed, doors opened, etc., etc.
Why didn't you tell me any of this?
I was getting to it. And then the ship was stolen.
Centurion, you have the authority to tell me I don't understand the situation, and that you do not have the time to inform me, but have a acceptable course of action. You could have just done that. I can't help you with what you wrote down. I've already got reports from the other officers.
From one other officer, I expect, who had nothing particularly good to say about anything that went on during that mission.
Well, I wouldn't have had anything good to say. All you had to do was ask. I would have let you leave him behind if it was the right call.
Very well, Captain.
I can't help you anytime this time, but let's take this as a learning opportunity that I'm not going to tell you no if you've got a good idea.
Very well, Captain.
I really wish there was something I do. I can't, because, if Starfleet looks bad at this, they can't bust you down. They can't reassign you. Uh, serving here or being removed from service is the only options they really have. So I'm afraid to let anything hit your record, but I'll do what I can.
I did what I did with the full expectations that there may be repercussion.
That's what I'm saying, Centurion. The repercussions for Ensign Kinnett doing something irresponsible or me doing something irresponsible are much less drastic because Starfleet has many tools, right? They can bust me down, they can reassign me to a smaller ship, they can reassign Ensign Kinnett to additional training, but you don't belong in Starfleet. You don't serve in Starfleet. There's so many options they don't have. So their first gut reaction, if they have to send a message, is just going to be to remove you and return you to the state.
I am well aware of this, Captain.
I don't want that. It would really help if you stayed for a moment and helped me write this up. And basically, Jim, I'd like to do some kind of paperwork to make this look. I don't want to lie, but I want to say I'm aware of it. I should be the one to take care of this situation. There were no bad outcomes. It's a learning opportunity. Basically, don't let this impact the Centurion.
I mean, technically, Ralph did nothing that wasn't within his authority to do.
It does fall as unethical. You were going to get dinged for that, but this role
yeah.
can turn it into a yes. I'm aware. You're handling the situation at a ship level rather than letting it get all the way to command. It's like Ralph already done his argument. Like, no, here's the reason I had command the captain of the ship. I concur. It's like, oh, well, you handled it at a captain master level. No, we don't need to get involved anymore. I just pulled out my own ear.
A focus in Starfleet Protocol?
Yep.
I'll spend a momentum. Trait project manager. I've done a lot of personnel management.
I would take it, yeah. Generate 2. Plus the ship. Yeah, you basically just do some, administrative, bureaucratic acknowledgments and heretofores and such in a way that it turns that ding into nothing, because it's like, no, we handled it. We don't think it's this way. We think it's that way. Everything's fine. It's like, oh, okay, well, you documented it. You talked it out. All right. As long as your ship's okay with it, command will respect the captain's decision, especially since something bad happened. If they died, it'd be like, yeah, Starfleet's flexible. It's not that flexible.
All right. I'll like press file paperwork on the pad and put it away and say,
Badgie appears. I see you're trying to file paperwork. No.
Haifa puts that away and says, well, that's behind us. I want to stay and have a look at this system, but the health and safety of Vin and Kovic are a top priority. So would you mind taking Lieutenant Click and the prototype and returning to the station early to make sure everything is in order? Or do you have a particular interest in? I mean, if you want to take part in the scientific survey, then I could find someone else. But I assume that's not your particular interest.
My specialties are security and command. My assistant is far more scientifically inclined.
Is she on the ship?
If you guys haven't activated her on the station, she could be.
She could be.
All right, then she can. Before you leave, let Ensign Mila know that Telora will be working with her.
Of course, Captain. They get along so well.
On the back
They
of that,
do, actually, but his tone doesn't suggest that.
you and your inscrutableness. We'll kill the scene there. And final scene. We come back to Seirana.
Hello.
Hello. As you're in the Great Slime and enjoying the various experiences and answering questions and getting to be the person who answers all the questions, as you say, it's not a thing you were used to doing the last time you were here, but now you're getting, well, you probably were for the whole, like, when an astronaut comes to a school sort of thing, everyone wants to know about space. Mm-hmm. Now it's like, no, you're this big connected politico who knows all this stuff and sees all these aliens. Young slimes and old slimes alike, I have a million questions for you. I mean, eventually someone asks like a bunch of questions about their favorite recipe of fruit medley or something like that because someone really wants to know. But there's lots of things going on, and then eventually there's this new voice that kind of joins in, who says, "Everybody," and everyone kind of notices them. I mean, people still talk among themselves, but there's someone calling out everyone's attention, and they show an image throughout the Great Slime. There's the big sinkhole. As it looks like this person was looking at like a video feed where someone was like flying over in a shuttle looking down at it, and then there was nothing, and there's 8 buildings just appear. Look,
I'm sorry, 8 what just appears?
8 buildings appear in the sinkhole that was created on the other side of the world. These glistening bluish buildings.
Does anyone in the slime have any idea what's going on right now?
Everyone's confused. Some people know that that's a sinkhole that happened during the coup. Like, all of a sudden the ground just kind of gave. And no one really knows more than that.
All right. Good time is over. We're getting out of the Great Slime. I'm getting out of the Great Slime, and I'm going to try to contact the... what's the nearest local military command? I want to reach out to them.
Either the Harmonizers or a local FIDF office. Depends who you want.
Yeah, I want to reach out to the local FIDF office.
FIDF Planet Control, go ahead. Captain of Stairs.
What just happened? Why, everyone in the Great Slime is extremely perturbed at the presence of new buildings inside the sinkhole. What on earth... What on Upantar just happened?
We're trying to coordinate with Halanak Station now. That just appeared suddenly, and unfortunately that shuttle was not one of ours. That was a civilian vessel going on a tour. So the whole FIS knows it's there now. We're going to try to secure the site and see what's going on. Apparently, Harmonizer Kovic and one of the Starfleet officers has been found on the planet. They're heading back up to Halanak. At this point, all I can do is contain the anomaly area and try to keep people from poking at it. But we don't know any more than you do right now, Captain. Doesn't look to be attacking anyone or emitting any dangerous radiation.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. And she'll close the comm, and then she will request to be beamed up to Halanak Station, because this sounds like something that's going to require her to go back to her job. This sounds important.
And as you make your way back up to Ops, You step out and you notice that various people are. You get reports from various people that the the original signal for energy for the quantum core has been reestablished.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
The quantum signature, the thing that you're pulling your station's pulling power from, they found the original signal again, and they've narrowed it down.
Okay.
It's from that building. They now know for sure it's the building that they're drawing power from. Though they don't understand how that works, but its appearance is linked to that channel. So,
Okay. In that case, then we need to send a team down to investigate it because this sounds like a serious security threat.
Aye, Captain. Assembling teams now.
Do I know that Kobuk and Ven are back? Did anyone tell me about that?
Yeah, they're heading back in the. You get reports that they're being shuttled up. They're probably en route by the time you get to ops.
Yeah. Do I know that they came from a similar area or the same area?
They're on the same continent. You know that, yeah.
Okay. All right. I would like to activate my QSC and call Kobuk.
Kovic here.
Yeah. It's Sayrana. Do you or the boy genius you're with know anything about the series of mysterious buildings that just appeared on our planet?
Well, they've actually been there for a really long time, and then they were taken from the planet, which is where the sinkhole came from. So technically, we've just returned them to the planet.
I'd request further elaboration.
Yes, well, it's
Actually, I take that back. You're on comms with them, so boop, boop, you're there.
I'm no technician, but it's some sort of ancient technology that is vital to Upentar and life on Upentar, and we've just managed to convince its former caretakers to pass the care of it over to the Upentari and the FIS. Lieutenant Vin and I are on our way to speak with the presiding speaker about this. It's something that's going to take the FIS probably centuries to figure out all the mysteries and the whys and how whores for. I will say that I have been told by reliable sources that it could be extraordinarily dangerous for just random people to go mucking about in.
Understood. But it's not dangerous?
Well, I
On
mean,
its own?
but it on its own, it's been kind of the core of your quantum slipstream technology and quantum communication technology for a long, long time. So, but it doesn't pose in and of itself a threat, but best to keep looky-loos and nosy Parkers out of it.
Understood. Report to the station when you're done with the presiding speaker. We will organize a long-term plan for containment and study. For right now, I am dispatching a team currently to secure the site.
Not in your chain of command, but I'll be happy to meet up with you after I talk with the speaker. Kovic out.
Well, you know.
Take your fascism somewhere else, lady.
No, she was not trying to give you an order. She just wanted to meet with you.
Report to the
establish some
station.
basic-
Yeah.
Iotians, they take things so seriously sometimes.
Right.
I
They
just
did 1
wanted to
year
meet
of
him.
that whole
I did
Germany
not want
thing.
to kill anyone.
Man, what did I miss in those 8 weeks?
Report
It
back to the
wasn't
station.
that bad. They're mostly exaggerating.
But yeah,
Mostly.
successful mission.
Texas only mostly is.
Retrieval of the facility has been accomplished. No one died, hooray! And a lot more questions are raised. But for now, it looks like more exploration is ahead, and certain futures lie in wait. But for now, everyone out there who's watching, thank you very much for watching. For those of you playing, thank you very much for playing, and we'll see you all again next time. Bye.
I'm very pleased with the outcome. That
So,
I hated to have to keep secrets from the FIS. That's just so anti-FIS.
so Time Lord Sir Arthur Conan Doyle wasn't on my bingo card.
Well, neither was